Well, hello everyone and welcome to the big Metal Solid 1 Glitchless Speedrun Beginner's Guide. I'm speedrunning this game for almost a year soon, and I decided I wanted to share my knowledge how to do this category in this game, specifically with the focus to get new people maybe interested in speedrunning Metal Solid 1. And from what I hear always when new people join our Discord at Metal Gear Speedrunners is that they have the game somewhere on the original PlayStation, they play it on PS2 or PS3 even, you know, and that's basically what they always have already. So my idea is I'm going to teach the people here the easiest version with the least headache to play Metal Gear Solid 1, and that is basically glitchless. I'm going to go through most of the beginner strats. I'm going to show you one or two rooms back to back to give you a few options. And then from that on, with that base, you can start building on to the other categories. The big difference between regular console runs and glitchless is only that we don't go and use the so-called vent glitch, and we don't use the boba skip. Vent glitch is totally in our control. It's fine. It helps us skip to not need to call Meryl in the beginning. But the other one, boba skip, is a RNG heavy trick, 50-50% really, and can lead to some frustration. So I'm going to show you the glitchless versions, but we're not going to do all these tricks. We're just going to play through the game back to back to back, and hopefully in easy to understand manner. And then I'll give you guys the tools that you need to get through the game. You may not get the top times with the strategies that I'm going to tell you, because this is meant to be, again, for beginners. But if you have started to learn the speedruns here with this video, thank you so much for watching, and check out MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. On our wiki section, we have all the other categories listed as well as the advanced strats, I'd say, that give you even more time saves, but they're also a little bit more tricky to perform. And with that, I think we're good to go, and you can get started. First off, let's take a look at what we have right now. I'm not going to play on a console today. I'm going to play on emulator, because on emulator, which I would also recommend to you guys out there if you can and want, we have save states. Save states are a great way to get started, to set a save point somewhere, and then if something goes wrong at first, just reload it again. And for me personally, also teaching you these things, it's super easy just to go in, make a quick save state, go into a room, show how it works, reload it again, and then show it without any commentary, for example. Other than that, let's quickly go over what we have here. We have Duckstation, which is one of the newer PlayStation 1 emulators. It is really good, has loads of comfort features, and also it allows you to play the console version of Metal Gear Solid 1, basically in the most straightforward version, with the least input lag, and also with the fastest loads. I'm going to show you all the settings that you need to do, so let's get started. First off, in the general settings, I would really recommend remove automatically load cheats, just so you don't accidentally invalidate your run. You can also have it render in its own window outside of your games list, for example. BIOS settings, I just have the BIOS in my game folder. You need to acquire those yourself. This is copyrighted software, but you can download them on the internet if you can find them. And here in the console settings, that is the important part for emulator. These settings you definitely want to do. Region auto detect is perfectly fine, and enable 8 MB RAM is also fine. And then execution mode, these are the settings that we want to enable. First off, we want to overclock the CPU and bring it up to 600%. We tested the setting, and 600% is stable and is very fast. It doesn't slow down the game at all. If you were to play at 100% or just like an actual console, you would see in certain action heavy rooms, you know, the frame rate will drop. With that, we can keep it actually stable and high, which is beneficial for us. On speedrun.com or leaderboards, we have actually separated emulator from actual consoles, just because emulator is that far, you know, advanced, gives us more stability. So don't worry, this is not a cheat or anything. This is just making it more comfortable for us when we speedrun the game. For the purpose of teaching and learning the category that I explained today here, it doesn't matter too much. If you play on an actual console, you can follow just as well. Next up is actually the speed up. You want 2x quad speed to read faster through the ISO or disk. And the seek speed up can be set to infinite, instantaneous. There's no limitation that we need. Everything else I don't need to check. And with that, we are done here. The three important settings, just to reiterate them, are enable overclocking 600%, read speedup is 2x quad speed, and seek speedup is infinite instantaneous. These three settings are then classified as fast disk speed, or FDS, compared to the standard or just 100%, you know, the regular version. Emulation settings, of course, we keep at emulation speed 100%, just as the game is intended. We're going to talk about the game that we play just in a moment, but that makes sure that if you have an NTSC game from the US or Japan, that it will run at 60 FPS or 30. And if you have a game from the PAL region, it runs at 50 FPS/25. Fast forward speed and turbo speed, we just keep as is, that's fine. We have not discussed yet if we want to fast forward the credits. That's a topic for another day. But maybe in the future will come in handy, and then with the press of the F button, you could toggle a fast forward. And has to basically skip the end credits in RTA, and the IGT will still be untouched, because all the categories will be actually timed in IGT, from easy, normal, hard, and extreme difficulty. The only one where we don't do that is very easy, because we don't have a score screen at the end to show us the IGT. Other than that, hotkey settings I have set up here. Everything as standard, basically. Save states, though, that is the important one for me. I have set here the load global state 1 to F6 and save global state to F5. That way I can quickly make a save state with F5 and be like, okay, let's start the fight. I'm going through it, pause, you know, reiterate stuff. And then I can press F6 to come back again to do it quickly. For you guys practicing, this is basically a fast method how you can on the fly make new save states and reload them if you want to try stuff over and over again. Controller settings, of course, you need as well. This is Metal Gear Solid. If you've never played this game, you need two controllers in the end, because we're going through a boss fight where the game forces us to use a second controller. The method that I'm going to be using here is this DualSense controller from the PlayStation 5. If you want to use that, there's another tutorial you can find on my YouTube channel. I hope I remember to link it, where I'll show you how you can use a free program called DS for Windows to emulate that DualSense controller as an Xbox 360 controller. The settings that you want to have in the beginning is that the controller is mapped here to the first port, and in port 2, you should also have the same controller mapped to these inputs here. If you turn that off here with none, then the controller will automatically be put again in the first port. As soon as you activate port 2 with the setting here, that's when you have the second controller go in. And that is actually useful for Mantis, because in Mantis, we have a little like cutscene where we have a black screen, then we can quickly click over here, activate the second controller. Then after the fight's over, you can quickly go none, and then we're done with it again. Very easy. One more thing. Turbo is something that is allowed, and I can highly suggest to use. In the console/emulator version, we have to mash through codecs. With Duckstation, we can map it to any point we want. You want to set up autofire 1 for the button cross. So every time we have X to tap forward in the codecs, we can instead hold button 8. That is my right stick. When I press in my right stick, that is when I activate turbo on X, and then I can go faster through these codecs, and I don't need to move my hands/wrist. And set that to 2 frames. Important thing, if you scroll through the settings here, it can sometimes happen that you accidentally scroll here on the analog axis scale. Make sure that this is set to 1. I had this set once to like 0, and then you cannot use, of course, the analog movement in this game, which we talk about in just a second. Another thing that I also can recommend is force analog mode on reset. That every time when you reset the console, it will automatically enable analog right away. This is a setting from back in the day where digital is only having the D-pad, you know, and analog is the analog sticks. So if you set the setting on, you can both use the D-pad and the analog stick right away. Doesn't require you to set it up by pressing the analog button, which in my case is pressing in the left stick. Other than that, you can put in a memory card. I would recommend that. The game always asks, hey, you don't have a memory card, do you want to continue? And we're like, yeah, because we're speedrunners, we play through the game in like an hour and we're good to go. In our instance, I just said separate card per game, and then it will make in my documents a separate game card here. Now, display settings is another thing that you need to do, and you're absolutely required to do that if you want to put a run on the boards. We require you to show the OSD messages For example, when you start the game, or if you load a save state, we can see that. We also want to see the game frame rate, so we can determine if you fast forward or not. We want to see if the game runs, you know, at around 30 FPS. And then additionally, you can show controller input like this. This is in the bottom corner. You can quickly move the window out of the way here. You can see in the bottom left corner, there's a P1 and some buttons here. That is the built-in input controller that you can see. For the purposes, I'm going to use the one that I'm going to see on the bottom right. That is the Game Input Viewer website, which I loaded into OBS as a browser source. In the enhancement settings, you can do what you want. Pretty sure internal resolution you can set up to even higher. I personally leave it at 1x because it reminds me of the original look of the game. I personally like it. Some people don't. Do what you want. Widescreen hack is not allowed. That's important to notice. You're really only allowed to change the resolution if you want, and filtering, but not the widescreen hack. The game has to be played in full HD. And then everything else, as it is, basically, you don't need to change anything here. I could actually lower the volume just a little bit here, because it's always louder than everything else. How about that? 80%. And then everything else, achievement settings, we don't need, and advanced settings, I also don't need to put in anything. And with that, I'm going to set this window aside, going to keep it here on port 2, and move it out of my way so I can see the actual game. And for you, I'm going to turn it off here. And then it's finally time to actually play the game. Once again, I set controller 1 to port 1. We're good to go. You can see it here already active. And then I'm going to start our emulation. System reset. Hopefully it works. There it is. I cannot hear the game right now. Oh, there it is. So, we're going to play Metal Gear Solid, and we need to talk a little bit about the version that we're going to play. So there's basically like 4 big versions. If you want to hear more about the versions, you can find out more about that at MGSSpeedrunners.com or wiki. We have an entire page about that. An overview, basically, what most people have. We have a very large group of people in the US and in Europe that want to play the game. Both of these did not get the Integral version, because Integral is basically a re-release that only appeared in Japan. In Japan, we first had the original Japanese release, which is its own category even on speedrun.com, because there's a few quirks with that. That's the Japanese dub, and a few other features in the game, and only 1 difficulty. The game came out then in the rest of the world, featuring 4 difficulties: easy, normal, hard, and extreme. And then in Japan, they did another re-release, coming back again, where they also introduced the difficulties, as we can see here. And additionally, they also gave us very easy. So if you want to play the very easy category, which is basically easy with the rules, only that very easy doesn't give you a score screen at the end, and very easy replaces the farmer's weapon with an MP5 silenced, with also unlimited ammo. That's the only big difference here for very easy and easy. Why do you want to play this Japanese re-release? Thanks for the follow. It's very simple. If you play on PAL, the PAL version will run significantly slower, a fifth slower. It will run in 25 FPS versus the JP and US versions, which will run at 30 FPS. So let alone PAL slower than all the others, just because it runs at a lower frame rate. You can run the US version, but if I remember correctly, in the US, you will also have a little dialogue before we fight Liquid on top of Rex. That dialogue lasts a few minutes. In the Integral version, it was made possible finally that we can actually skip that. And that's the big reason why I'm playing on this Japanese re-release of Metal Gear Solid. And that is called Metal Gear Solid Integral, as we can see here. This is basically the version everyone wants to run. If you want to play, I'm going to get to the answer in a second. If you want to play this game and don't have it, you have a European or US PSN account, you can still buy for now with just a Japanese PSN account. You need to set it up in Japan, like on the Japanese PSN website, need to buy Japanese PSN vouchers and then put that voucher on your account, and then you can go into the PSN store and download Integral. And that's really it. It's very simple. This Japanese re-release for once has some options that we want to use. We want to make sure that the language is set to English, because then we're going to save some time at the end of the game when we get to the nuclear statistics screen. That screen is actually delayed if we have Japanese language on, because it then will be subtitled. Another thing that we want to change is also vibration. If you have the PAL release, the US release, or any other release, basically, turn off the vibration, because on console/emulator, we have to mash through that dialogue when we are in the cell. And if we turn off the vibration, we're going to skip a large portion just because the characters won't talk about vibration. These are the only settings you really want to do here. Set the language to English if you play Integral, and then vibration to off. Alright, and that is everything you need to know about the different versions of the game and the different, basically, aspects of it. Once again, I'm not going to play on console right now, I'm going to play on the Duckstation Emulator. And with that being said, let's get started. Today for Beginner's Guide, I'm going to focus on the easy difficulty. Very easy, once again, is just like easy, only you don't get a score screen at the end. This category is timed in RTA or real time. And easy is basically my recommendation if you want to get started. There's nothing holding you back if you want to go directly to extreme, but Metal Gear Solid is a game that scales very differently. It's basically just adding more health to enemies and you do less damage to them. That's really the most of it. Doctor, did you get the world record yesterday? I had to leave before the end. If you mean the any % emulator record, I did get that by 1 second. And then a day after, DLM took it back by like 2 minutes and something. It was really not a good run. In the grand scheme of things, it was a good PB for me though. And I mean, I still beat the record. Even if it's just 1 second. So, thanks. Anyway, coming back to the difficulties. Easy is basically the beginner-friendly version. I can really recommend get started here, get familiar with everything. On easy, very easy and normal, you also have the radar. Helps you to understand where all the enemies are. On hard and extreme, you don't have a radar. Which is, it says here, Radaru off. Very easy. Again, has the infinite ammo with the MP5. And basically, you should be starting on easy. If you want to play this game on PC, you can basically follow the same guide here. Only aspect that changes for glitchless is that you can basically open and close dialogues codecs directly, which makes it already so much faster. Cutscenes load faster away by just holding down X, and of course everything else. You can use the numbers on your keyboard as the weapon keys. So each number is mapped to one weapon. On console/emulator, we don't have that. That's everything we're going to do today. So let's start. Metal Gear Solid Beginner's Guide for Glitchless, easy difficulty for console/emulator. This game is Japanese. In Japanese games, we confirm with circle and we skip stuff with X. So when I select the difficulty here on easy, I press circle once and then I start holding X. Holding X prevents cutscenes even from loading in. They get skipped immediately. And then afterwards, when we go into a codec call, I'm going to press R3 to enable my turbo and X. If you don't have turbo set up, you need to manually mash with X. And then we get into the first part of the game, the docks. So, without further ado, let's get started. This looks great. So, you can move in this game with the left stick here if you have analog activated, or you can press the D-pad just like that. And then, of course, X is your crouching, circle is your punching, square is your choking if you don't have a weapon, or if you have a weapon in your hand, that's shooting, and triangle is your first person. In first person, you cannot walk, you can only look. And if you double tap triangle on PC, you're gonna stay in first person, you can actually attack. It's the only big difference between the PC version and the console version in Integral. Other than that, if you hold down L2, that's your items, cigarette, scope. There's also later car keys in there and rations to heal ourselves. And on the right side, of course, we have weapons, and we start, of course, without any weapons. R1 is to quick equip and unequip. And of course L1 is to do the same here. So if I press L1, I unequip and re-equip the last item. Easy peasy. Start here is the pause screen. That pause screen also pauses the IGT. So if you're in the speedrun, for example, and you have to take a break, you gotta answer the door for something. I don't know. DoorDash. Press start and then the IGT will stop. The RTA of course will continue, but that's all we need to do. So if there's anything that you want to do, take a break, just press pause. And of course with select, as usual, we open here the codec. Can call people and be like that. Alright. Now, in the docks here, we need to do something. There's 2 guards here, no matter the difficulty. And we have to wait roughly 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We want to use that time to farm alerts. We want to farm alerts in this game here very early on. Because 1, alerts don't delay that elevator from coming down. The elevator will only come down after the credits have stopped. The credits will have stopped with, I think, then the assistant director. We're going to see here written by Hideo Kojima. Then we have the translator, Jeremy Blaustein. And that is usually the call where the last alert need to come in. We have 2 guards here, so what I usually do is I'm going to get the attention of the first guard, choke him so he dies, and then use the second guard to basically walk around this container here in the beginning and farm alerts. Since we almost wasted all the time already, I'm just going to quickly reset here. And then we're going to actually start the segment, and hopefully now without any control issues. I have to set it up again now for the second controller as well, or else I'll be standing at Mantis and not being able to do anything. Just a sec. There you go. Okay. So once again, starting back here, if you reset the game, always remember, go to options, select language English, vibration off, and then exit. What I would recommend is if you're on emulator, go to the screen and then make a brand new save state. So click on save state and then put one out. You can see it right now, but make a global save state, for example, 1. To immediately always can go back here to the select screen. The settings will all be memorized here, and you can, if you need to reset, come directly back to the screen here. So I'm going to do that right now. Make a new save state, as you can see by this prompt in the top. And then whenever I load this save state, it can be like, I don't know, doing something. Notice, for example, oh, turbo isn't working, I have to manually mash, I have to check the settings. You know, I can just go back to load state, and boom, I'm back on the difficulty selection. Definitely helps a lot. Let's actually start now. So, as I described in the beginning, we have all the basics covered. And we're now going to get a few alerts. You will see me play the game mostly with D-pad because I'm a PC player. On the PC we don't have any analog movement. So that's how I'm going to use the game. And in the beginning I'm going to knock here on the side to get this first guard's attention. Walk around. Mash square to knock him out or kill him, and then walk up. Now guards, as soon as you go into the evasion screen, will start looking for you. And you can basically start getting their attention here by knocking. What was that noise? And then walk into them. What I just did is a throw. Throwing is super easy in this game. You literally walk into the direction that you want to, the opposite side. So if I want to throw this guard down, I need to hold up and then just press square. Now I didn't wait for him, so I'm going to go here, going down, press square, and then he will actually go up. And why do I do this initiation with a throw always? It's very easy. If I throw the guard first, he'll be knocked out. The first time, he'll be only on the floor for a short time. The second time, he'll be on the floor for much longer. That makes getting away so much easier for you, especially if you're not used yet to how these guards work. Where'd he go? I heard something. Even walk on water there, as you can see. And the goal in the end is basically, as soon as the last alert stops, to get just a new one. Alerts always count when you get this, you know, very shrill sound, like week, week, week. That's the noise it makes when it counts a new alert. What was that noise? There you go, week, week, week. and then we need to wait until the evasion screen goes away. If the evasion screen goes away, that's the sign, so we're good to go. Now, we just passed the mark in the credits with Jeremy Blaustein, and this is now where I'm going to walk up. If you end here on like 6 alerts, that's totally fine and just enough to get. Position yourself here on the right side of the elevator and get this cut screen. Once the cut screen is over, we need to knock on the wall. We need to wait, so the elevator basically is on the height of our pouch. You can probably see that here. The elevator is roughly on the height of our, hip. And then if we lean against the wall before holding up and then press circle, we knock on the wall. And the guard that's inside that elevator will turn around and be like, oh, what was that noise? With that, we can then basically just walk left. Basically, just walk in underneath him. And then the guard will focus on the right. And we can slip past him from the left. So let's see that in action. And there you go. And that's the docks. You can even punch the guard, get an alert, and still get on the elevator without any issues. But we're going to keep it simple for the beginner's guide. Now with the introduction, we have lots of dialogues and cutscenes here. So we start by holding X, then turbo again, hold down X, then we turbo again. And after the third time, the codec goes away. It's the second time. And now that's the third time. After the third time, we're holding right and square and X. Because after this codec, we have one more cutscene, and then we go directly into gameplay. And we want to start walking as soon as possible. And what this holding of different buttons is, plus X, is that we not only skip a cutscene, but immediately perform another action. The game will not make it showing to you because it will fade from black into the game. So the action will not be visible. But what happens is we skip the cutscene and then we choke the air. And then we can just let go and start walking to the right. There's a few more situations where we do tricks like this. For example, we hold down X and R2 or X and L2 in order to buffer skipping a cutscene and not crouching. If you skip a cutscene just by pressing yes, we'll be crouching down and we cannot immediately start walking again. There's only no being prone or standing. You cannot crouch walk, unlike in the more modern versions. So let's bring it over, getting to the helipad, skipping the rest of the codec here. And then, as I said, as this goes away, hold right and square X, and then we go. And as I said, because it fades out from black, we cannot see what happens, but what happens is we skip the cutscene, we choke the air, and then we can immediately start walking. And this is key right now in this room. It makes it so much easier for us to move on, because timing here is very precise. So I'm gonna make a new save, and then show you how to get past this helipad. In the beginner's guide, I would say just do it without any alerts. That can look like this. We walk up here, wait for this light to go away, and then we can continue moving on. We want to have these chaff slows, so we're going to quickly grab these, and then we can move on. The problem is here, we get this cutscene.
A surveillance camera?
And you kind of don't want that. Put on here, lie down, and then go in here. You also see we're getting shot, so that's not ideal for us. The end goal is that we go into this one vent here. I'm going to show you the version that we usually do. So we're back again here on the heliport. I just got right and up. And the version that we actually do on console runs looks like this. So go up here, hold up right to be immediately online here for the chaff. And then once we're in the chaff, we hold R2, switch to the chaff, and then immediately start walking up left. Usually I'm not getting shot here if the timing's correct. And then once we get off that initially helipad, we walk to the up left again to be precisely on this texture here in the middle of this bright stripe basically. Maybe a little bit to the right, and then ideally that guard will constantly miss us. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk up for roughly half the texture and then start walking to the top left. Do a quick throw, meaning we throw the guard and then re-equip our weapon. Always remember, if you want to throw the guard, you need to unequip your weapon with R1, so you have nothing in your hands. Then press any direction that you want to throw the guard into the opposite of, press square, and then with R1, re-equip your weapon. This will interrupt the animation of the throwing. So just let me quickly show you how a slow throw looks like. Slow throw is like this. Takes forever. And the quick throw variant, of course, looks like this. So you can see here with the direct line, we're not getting seen. I'm walking up here. And this was very quickly, but as soon as I saw the animation begin for Snake, that he threw the guard over him, I pressed R1 quickly, and then the guard will continue the flight, but we can also start walking, moving on. So we don't need to wait for the animation to finish, we can continue walking on. Let me show that one last time here. I went a little bit too far to the right here, but it will be fine. See, my timing was not correct there, but fine, going up here. And yeah, as soon as we throw the guard, we can press X to go down and then hold up to go into the vent. Ideally, after you throw the guard, you walk up first, then press X to crouch, and then go into the vent. So my performance here today is not the best. I'm going to try one last time to show it clean, and then we're going to move on. What's important is here, just get the alert on the heliport and grab the chaff. We need those chaffs later. There's one more alternative that we do on PC any %, which can also be beneficial if you have a trouble here. So I'm going to show you this last version as well. This last version costs you 6 seconds, so it will be slower, but it will make it so much easier for you to get away. So let's show you this version. What we do is we walk up here, just as usual, get the alert, switch to the chaff, and then walk left. Now walking to the left, we don't get the cutscene here, and we can grab the second. That's a stun grenade. We merely switch to the stun grenade, and it didn't work. We throw the stun grenade as we go out of here. And then the guard will be lying down as soon as the stun grenade pops. We can go to the vent and go in here. Makes it a little bit easier. On PC, we can skip going to the menus because we just press the buttons 8 and 9. 8 corresponding to the stun and 9 corresponding to the chaff. Makes it a little bit easier and actually makes sense for PC because this enables us also other tricks. But just once again, if you have trouble with the version that I showed you here, you can just go up and then left and get away with the stun grenades. This path only works, yikes. This path only works on easy. If you're on extreme, these guards shoot much faster and much more often. So there's a different strat that you need to do for extreme. For the beginner's guide, I'm only showing you this for the easy difficulty. And with that being said, let's move on to the next level. That is the tank hangar. So we go into the vent here, and you're going to see me use actually the analog stick for this precisely. Because in vents, when we get a call, which will happen now, we continuously crawl forward with the analog stick. If we were to use the D-pad, we will actually not crawling forward while the call comes in. This is the reason why on PC we need to answer the coding immediately. On console/emulator we can just hold up the analog stick, and then even if we get a call that we need to answer, we can move on forward. We don't lose any momentum at any time. There's one more thing I have not explained yet, and that is that we want to always have a weapon in our hand. If we are standing and running around, we need to basically have a weapon in our hand that changes the animation of Snake. Thanks so much, Irish Wolf, for your subscription. And if we have a weapon in our hand, Snake actually runs faster. It doesn't matter which weapon it is. The only difference is C4, I think, skips every 20 frame or something. But as long as we have a grenade or anything else in your hand that allows you to move, the PSG-1 sniper and the Stinger, of course, does not allow you to move, but if you have a grenade in your hand, you will run faster than without something in your hand. So keep in mind, everything that I do here, I will always try to remember to keep a weapon/grenade in my hand. Now we've gotten to the tank hangar. I'm going to make a new save state quickly. Tank hangar, especially on easy and normal at least, I think also hard, always work the same. On extreme, what I'm going to show you can also work the same way, but it's a little bit more tricky because the guards have such a higher field of view. Was that any weapon or any weapon other than C4? Okay, just to say it again. any weapon that allows you to move whilst running. So that would be the normal grenade, the chaff grenade, the stun grenade, the C4, the SOCOM, the Nikita. The claymores also work. We don't use claymores in the speedrun. We entirely skip them. We don't need them. The Nikita allows you to run. The Stinger does not allow you to run while you use it. You always go into first person, and the same with the PSG-1. So Stinger and PSG-1, of course, doesn't work. If you have them in your hand, you cannot even run. All the other weapons will make you run faster. The C4 is the only one where every, I think, 20th frame, it will stop for a moment. Like, it won't visually stop you, but there's like a tick where Snake's animation will be slightly different. It doesn't matter. What is important right now, especially for beginners, just remember, have a weapon in your hand. And usually these are grenades. And because the chaff is the first weapon that we get, of course, we're going to immediately use the chaff on our hands to run faster. And then moving on to the tank hanger. The tank hanger basically has only one goal. You can already see it here in the screen. Don't we always get weapons in my hands? Good beaming. We want to walk towards that elevator. If you were to walk straight on forward, it will look like this. Go here, walk up a diagonal line, and then press the button. And then that guard behind us will see us. So in order to prevent that, we're going to make use of our first chaff. So go out of here, step up. I'm going to take like 2 steps. I need to delay by like 1 second. And then I'm going to press square and keep holding in that direction. And then I want to, at the tip of the tank, just throw the chaff to the left. It looks like this. Roughly at this spot, I'm going to throw the chaff to the left. There's a box where the chaff will be thrown against, and then the chaff will explode. With that timing in mind, the guard that would usually walk up to the elevator would be distracted and then walk to the right of the box, out of our way, and give us enough time to go on the elevator and get away. There you go. As you can see, he was on the other side and then moves along, takes the longer way before he gets to the elevator. The thing with elevators is, and you need to keep this in mind, elevators need 2 presses for the slowest version. You can press an elevator once, but then it can take unknowns the amount of time. It's randomized based on the frame time that your game's on. If you press an elevator button twice, it will definitely appear after the second time. It can be that an elevator arrives after the first press immediately. Super good, very lucky, happens more often in MGS1 than in MGS2, but we cannot rely on that. So to be absolutely sure that we do not get caught here in this tank hanger, we press the button always twice. You can hear if the elevator comes in directly, then you just have the sound coming in. If you hear the sound of the elevator coming in, you don't need to press it the second time, but especially in the beginning, get used to press the elevator button twice. So let's go back one more time. Tank hanger, what we're going to do. Get out of here, take 2 steps, start cooking the grenade, throw to the left, continue on. Press the elevator button twice, and then we get in. And then of course we go down to B1, press circle, and then we're done here. Now we gotta go here, just for your information. If you want to later learn how to do any percent, we'll go in here and then do the vent glitch. Vent glitch is very easy. You lie down, go into first person, look up, and then let go of both buttons and press X. Then Snake will stand up in the out of bounds. For all bosses, and especially of course glitchless, we don't do that. We take here this ladder, press circle, and then move on. Now in this elevator, we're not getting a call that we need to answer, so I can move with the D-pad. It doesn't matter if we use the analog stick here. The analog stick is only important if we are in an event and get a call that we need to answer, which would have been the first event where we need to answer Master Miller. And once we get to the end of this event, basically halfway like this, you know, we don't need to look that far in. We can even go triangle and look up. I thought we need to press triangle, look down, but it even works if you press up. I never knew that. Even I learned something new today. We need more impressions, but maybe later. So once we look down here, hold down X until the cutscenes are over, and then we turbo our way through the codecs. Once again, if you don't have turbo, you need to manually mash. In case you don't know, there's another ration right underneath this bed here. Can be useful. If you're unsure if you have enough health or not, I can definitely recommend you putting on the ration. You don't need to. At this point, you can also just equip the card here. So L1 up, and then you have the card on. If you're not sure if you can get over this fight initially, because the guards will shoot you, just put it in the ration. Rations work in a great way. As long as you have a ration actively on your body, so it is shown on the bottom left, even if your life goes down to 0, it will automatically heal you again. So especially for a beginner, maybe in the beginning put on the ration here for this fight. It is not necessary, but nevertheless, you know, just getting used to it. Later on, if you're more comfortable with it, you don't need to put on anything here. You can leave it as is, or you can just, as I said, L2 and up to equip the door key, which we need to put on anyway. All right, so another save state made, and then I'm going to show you how to do the first boss fight, that is the cell fight. We're going to go out of here, hold on X to skip the cutscenes, and then we need to walk directly to the left to grab the 𝐶𝐶𝐶. As soon as we grab the 𝐶𝐶𝐶, press R2 to equip it, and then ideally you are at the position that I'm going to show you, where the guards won't even hit you, because you will already start shooting them before they hit you. You can do this part on easy, damageless even. Let's see this all in action. You want to be roughly on the bottom left corner as I've shown here. Go to the 𝐶𝐶𝐶 and just mash here. Snake will automatically aim towards the guards. He's very close to them. Just mash that square and get it over with. Easiest start to the fight ever. Then R1 twice. I was too slow to quickly reload, because we always want to have a full clip in our 𝐶𝐶𝐶. Now I currently don't have it on me, so I'm going to have to do it now. And then walk up to this top right corner. Each guard takes 3 shots. And then we're going to go into a loop basically, where we kill 3 guards, and then we grab their ammo. With the ammo grabbed, we unequip the 𝐶𝐶𝐶 and re-equip it again and go back into the position. It's basically like a little circle that we do all the time. Unequip, grab the ammo, re-equip, go in the corner, shoot 3 guards. 3 shots per guard on easy. Unequip, grab, re-equip, stand here. And you will see also you get automatically a lot of rations, so even if you only have 1 after the first start, you always have enough rations here. That's the fight. I'm going to show it one more time in full motion without any explanation or any stops, and then we're going to move on, because this fight is not hard, especially on easy. We do have enough ammo for everyone, and you can try to preserve as much as you can. I'm going to show you, before we go to Ocelot, how to find even more 𝐶𝐶𝐶 ammo. Ideally, you get out of this fight and have enough to finish this Ocelot fight and use only the ammo that you get in this fight later. But if you run out of ammo here and you want to have definitely more before the next fight, I'll show you where that is. So, one last time. As soon as the door opens here, we go down. Another thing that you can do is hold down left there. I'll show it one more time. While we wait here, if you have a weapon in your hand, you can just hold down left here, and Snake will be stuck in this animation. And then once the door opens, he'll be walking out immediately. Hold down left here. I went up a little bit too far, and there we go. As you see, pressing R2 twice, unequip, re-equip, is much faster than have manual reloading. And that way we are also much faster back in action. So we go up here. What you will also see, I will press only square, not square and X, to stand still. If you only hold down square without letting go, you will be aiming. That makes it easier for you to be aligning yourself with these guards. So I'm gonna hold down square. Like this. Like I can look around here, you know, it's fine. Hold down left and then let go when the first guard's coming. You can even run and gun here in case you didn't know with square and X, which you're gonna use later. And that was the cell fight.
Thanks for the help.
Wait,
Thanks for the help!
who are you?
Right. So once again, after this fight, just hold down X, skip all the cutscenes, mash or codec, turbo through this codec, then literally hold up. Don't go anywhere. Hold up, press circle. You will always get this elevator. You don't need to adjust. Hold up and press circle. And usually we press twice, but because I was explaining stuff, I was only doing it once. Go down to B2. Now we're in the Armory. In the Armory, thankfully there's no guards here. What we're gonna need is go directly to the left or the right here. Go in here. Equip your door key. And usually we equip the door key after the cell fight. I just didn't do that right here. As long as you equip it now when you need it, all good. Door opens. I'm gonna grab these 2 packs here. And I always grab these going in here from the right. So the door opens from the left. Perfectly fine would be if you go here in the left and then up here. Tightly align like this and then go out again. Now in this door, that open one, there's most SOCOM ammo. As a beginner, I would recommend just grab that. It doesn't cost you that much time. Later down, you don't want to use it. Another thing we need here is this. In the bottom left, we need the grenades. You can grab the grenades later. If you grab them now, you only get 2 packs because you can only hold 8. After the Ocelot fight, you can hold more, and then there will be a 3rd pack there. So it's up to you and personal taste if you want to use it here or later. I can show you a faster version of Ocelot. I will not go into that much detail of it. It's called the Grenade Ocelot. If you want to do Grenade Ocelot, you need these grenades, of course. On easy, you need 2, and then normal, hard, and extreme, you need 3 minimum. So if you want to do Ocelot, not with the SOCOM, but with the grenades, very tricky. Tutorials are available in video form on my channel and on the wiki, of course. But what I'm going to show you first is the SOCOM guide. The SOCOM version is much, much easier. And with that, you can, skip grabbing the grenades at first, but you need them later then. Grenade Ocelot is definitely faster. It is, I think compared to the fastest version with SOCOM, a few seconds. I think 4 to 6 seconds. If you want to be really optimized, you will do Grenade Ocelot. It is not that difficult, but it is intimidating at first. I'm going to show you again only quickly, very briefly with Grenade Ocelot. I have a full guide of that on my YouTube channel in detail. If you want to learn more, check out in the description down below where hopefully linked it all, and then you can learn more about that. What I'm only focused on first in the beginner's version is the SOCOM fight. We're going to get there in just a second. Now, one more thing. As a beginner, you probably don't want to blow yourself up through the wall. What we usually do is, once we have it, we grab the C4, go down here. As soon as Snake is on the floor like this, hold down L2, switch to the ration, and then you let go. Once you hear the click, you can press circle and explode yourself through the wall. As I said, if you have a ration on you, you will not die. You will just use up another ration. But that means for the Ocelot fight, you won't have any rations. And especially in the beginning, it can be that Ocelot shoots you a few times and you have a little bit of trouble. So if you want to be absolutely sure, don't explode yourself through the wall and keep the rations on. So instead of doing that, you would instead do this. Go here with the C4, put that down here, walk to the right like this, explode it, and then walk here through. Now there's another wall right here. And then I'm going to quickly explain how quick unequipping C4 works. Basically, as you can see here, when Snake is down like this, you can hear the click. And after the click, if you press R1, Snake will be immediately up again. You don't need to wait for him to standing up again, which is a little bit faster. As you can see. It's a minor thing, but if you want to really optimize this later down the road, quickly press just R1. That's all. Now walk down here again. We're not going to use a ration in any case, because we only have 2 rations anyway. And then we walk over here to the right. And then since we're on console / emulator, we're going to put down 2 C4s, because we don't need the 4th one. We found on PC the use of for a 4th one, so we can keep that around. but especially on console/emulator, we want to get rid of our menus now, because as you can see, when I used the last C4, it went out of our inventory again, and we can more quickly move around because we have one less item that we need to scroll over. Now, once again, we have two versions how we can do the next fight. That will be Ocelot. I'm going to show you first the SOCOM version, which is the one that I want you to focus on first. It is very beginner friendly, and you only need to remember one or two basics. The other version will be with the grenade. We're going to talk that after the SOCOM. Now, again, if you want to explode yourself through the wall here, you don't even need to lean like this. You can just stand like this, press circle, and you go through there, and you're going to use a one ration. Once again, because we're beginners here right now, I'm going to explode the wall like this and keep the ration on like this. Ocelot can shoot you, but if you're playing on easy, he won't be much of trouble. But if you want to go absolutely sure like this, and if you want to get, accustomed to the fight first, I guess keep the rations on here right now. All right. And then we go into Ocelot. Before I walk in, quick explanation before we start the fight. I'm going to skip all the cutscenes and do the thing again that we did at the helipad back then. I'm going to hold X and square. Holding X and square both allows us to immediately lock onto Ocelot, because we're going to be standing in a position and then turn left automatically. I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to skip the cutscenes, hold X and square, and then I will automatically lock onto Ocelot. I'm going to let go only of square and keep my thumb on X, because that way I can also immediately start walking with the run and gun method. So just quick explanation, go here, walk around, and then let go. We can constantly shoot like this, as long as we keep the X on here. If you let go of both, you need to press X and square again to continue running and gunning. If I let go here and then press X, I need to go on X again. A clean movement would be doing it immediately. Alright, so let's go into Ocelot and then go into a little bit of the details with Ocelot. Just to explain again. Holding X and square. I don't need to do anything. You can see Snake was immediately turning towards Ocelot. What I want to do is to walk left here and start chasing him. Ideally, you'll be constantly on his foot. Right? You can walk after him, and as soon as he reloads, you will continue walking. And this is why I keep my thumb constantly on the X, so I can just walk after him and then... whoop. And this is why you want to keep maybe the ration on in the beginning. This is fine. As long as he can and you're close enough, he will turn around and retaliate. And that was already the fight. I didn't even have time to go into all the details. That's how fast Ocelot can be with SOCOM. Just to show it one more time, just hold X and square and he will immediately turn to the left. I don't need to do anything. Let go of square whilst holding X to the first shot. And afterwards, we're gonna chase him. Isn't Ocelot meant to be faster than you, or is that only on high difficulty? Little bit. On easy difficulty, he is about the same. He will run away from you if you're not careful enough, but as long as you are quick to react, especially because if he's gonna shoot at you, he's gonna stand still for a moment, you can catch up to him again. On extreme, you want to be much more clean, which is another reason why I recommend starting on easy first, and then you can scale up to extreme. But yeah, extreme Ocelot, he's a little bit faster. But if you get to the point where you do extreme, you might want to do grenade Ocelot anyway. You don't need to worry about that. Again, we're going to come to that point in just a moment. So, once again, walking in here. X and square. Turn around, let go, and then start walking left. We can set another shot here. And then we'll be complete on his butt. And now, that's what you want to do actually the whole time. When he gets shot, he stands still for a moment. In this moment that he stands still, you can do a little circle around him. So he will try to shoot you, will miss you, and you can immediately be in front of him again and shoot him. Now, that was very fast. I can only recommend at this point, get familiar with running and gunning in this fight, right? Just go up here. First shot, again, don't need to do anything. Walk left, walk up. After his line gets over, you can walk after him. You can even tank the damage here, it's fine. If you get the timing right, you don't need to do anything. Okay, now he ran away. But yeah, that's the fight. It is not too complex. It just requires you to get a little bit used to running and gunning and getting the timing right. I'm going to show you one more time how I do it usually. Hopefully it will be clean enough. And then we're going to quickly go through the basics of Grenade Ocelot. And that will be Ocelot. So one more time. 4 next to the square here to turn immediately into him. Let's go. After the draw, go up here. And then ideally, you just do these circles. If you are running out of ammo, you can grab the one on the bottom. And yeah, if he goes away from you because he needs to reload, be wary of that. I wasn't. And he started walking away from me. So only if he has a bullet, he will stand still and try to retaliate. If he is out of ammo, he will immediately start running away. So it's another thing you need to keep in mind. And yeah, that was the basics of 𝐾𝐚𝐮 Ocelot. Good luck if you try this version of the fight. It's gonna take 1 or 2 times. Once again, especially on emulator. Make a save state and do this fight over and over again. It is not too complex. After a few times you will get the hang of it, and then you can move on. Now, there's one more thing you wanted to see, and I'm going to show you that. It's Grenade Ocelot. We are on easy. We're going to need 2 grenades for him. The basics are very easy. Walk my line and let go at certain times. It is easier explained in the YouTube tutorial that I did because I had much more, editing power to stop at certain frames and show like, this is the line where you need to let go. The basics is you stay in the bottom right corner, so Ocelot will stay on the opposite side of you. And then you walk in a certain line before he will shoot you to throw a grenade to his feet. And that grenade will do half of his life damage. And then for the second one, you end the fight. At the end of Grenade Ocelot, even if you want, you can go up to the top right corner and grab the SOCOM memo, which will be useful for later. But again, a beginner's guide, not too much detail necessary. I'm going to show it to you once so you can see it. And once again, I can only recommend watch a YouTube tutorial that I did, which has much more detail, it's way more advanced, and hopefully it does a better job than what I can do right now. So we're going here, hold right square next, go up here, and let go. As soon as the second one pops, we go here, and that's it. So you can tell this is much faster than SOCOM. Even if you do SOCOM perfectly fine, this is faster just because the grenade does so much more damage. But yeah. And this basic strat, this basic line works on all difficulties. Only on normal, hard, and extreme you need 3 grenades because you don't do enough damage with just 2. On very easy/easy, you just need 2. Alright. Let's move on. Next chapter. I'm gonna quickly have some water. The next segment, usually, would be the tank fight. What we're playing on Glitchless, and Glitchless is basically like very fast casual play. So we actually need to go in and call 𝐼𝐼, but we cannot do that because 𝐼𝐼 cannot be called in this room because of all the issues with the codecs. So we'll just move the window here. We're gonna grab all the ammo quickly. This costs us a little bit of time. Ideally, you don't need that. And you can see right now, after the fight, we actually have nothing in our hands. So make sure after the fight to immediately go back to your chaff. So you have a grenade in your hand or any weapon. I always go to the chaff because I need that one next. And then you will run faster. What I also recommend is, before we move on, usually we go on the door card. But, as you probably did also in your casual playthrough, the cigarettes are actually going to help you later with the lasers. Because again, we're doing glitches, we have to deal with the lasers. We're going to call 𝐼𝐼 first, and we're going to walk through that. So I'm going to show you how it works. In the beginning here, whoops, that is the scope. In the beginning here, just, oh god, everything's different. Equip the chaff and the cigarettes and then walk out of here. Then as soon as you can, mash select here. So you can call 𝐼𝐼, 140-50. Gotta wait for this here. And we call 𝐼𝐼 here because we need 1 room change before the door opens. If you call 𝐼𝐼 here in the Armory, after we get off the elevator, she will immediately call us and be like, hey, the doors are open. I'm gonna see the cutscene and then we can walk through the lasers. Ideally without tripping them, but we'll get there when we get there. So once again, we gotta wait for this codec here. And there we go. What you can do is you can quick throw this guard, but maybe you just want to walk up on the left side and then go towards the elevator. Let's quickly pause here, because once we get out of that elevator, everything happens very quickly. So I'm going to quickly make another save state here just to give you a little bit of practice, and then walk you through the things that we need to do at the elevator. So pressing twice here, as usual. Go up there, up twice, and go to floor 1, the tank hangar. Once the door opens, mash codec. Just mash codec so we open it as soon as possible. Get through the dialogue, then the door cutscene happens. We cannot skip this door cutscene, but what you're going to do is hold down. And then you want to hold a super clean line. Basically hug the wall. Like this. And boom, you skip the first laser without any worries. That timing is key. Just make sure as soon as the elevator door opens, mash codec, so you answer directly. And then once again, once you get off that codec, no need to worry, cutscene happens, and then you walk past the line. Just hug the wall like this, and you can go through the first laser as is. Second laser also very quickly goes away. The third one will be quickly coming down. Can be intimidating. Then afterwards, you are probably passable to move on. We wasted a little bit of time here, so I'm going to quickly show once again. See, that one was a faster one. I didn't need to press twice. Once again, as I am here, I'm going to start mashing the codec button. Just turbo this codec or mash it. Some people don't use turbo, you don't have to. And then just hold down here. I'm going to use the D-pad because it gives me more precision, really. And there we go. Yoink. Second one goes up, third one goes up. Fourth one comes down, you need to wait for this one. You can go for the fourth one if you're really close with your line. Mine wasn't that good, and then you just need to wait for that one. If you have not practiced this one enough, I mean, just walk up to the lasers and with the cigarettes, time it out. But this is basically the basics of it. If you do it well, you can just move through the first one right away, wait for the first one. I think you can move them past the second, third, and fourth one in one go, and you need to wait for the fifth one to go that up. That's how you do the lasers. Once you get past them, use the door key here, and then go on of here. And yeah, here we go. This is the canyon, and this is where we're gonna fight the tank. Now the tank is a little bit execution precise, but not that much. I made another YouTube tutorial going into detail, telling you how to look at the textures on the floor to align yourself, and also giving you much more precise pointers. In this live version, I can only go so far. I can recommend if you want to know more about this tank fight, there's really only one way to how to do it correctly, so there's no beginner's version. Just do as I say and try to implement as best as I can show you here live. And if you want more details, go again to MetalGearSpeedruns.com to a wiki, where my YouTube video is linked. And again, it shows you a little bit more detail, where to look precisely, pauses and everything. The basics are very simple. When you begin, you have a few mines there. How do you get around the mines? I see people walk left here and then up. Don't do that. Be smart. Walk up left. And then hold up. You want to make sure you're in the center basically of this track here, and then nothing can happen to you. Alright, so just go here, up, and then hold. We have the chaff on our hand, and we're going to need that one right away. The fight starts, and once again, we're going to hold X and square and up left to start walking up left as soon as possible. This only works on very easy, and normal. On hard and extreme, you need to take the line to the left. So this tutorial here only works for the first 3 difficulties, not hard and extreme. But the hard and extreme versions are also on the wiki. Again, beginner's guide, we only focus right now on easy. Walk up all the way, and then as soon as this cutscene starts, hold up left and right. No, hold up right, square and X to start walking. And then once you see that the grenade has been cooked, let go of both. So you throw the chaff basically as early as possible. So we're gonna do that. Boom. And now, while the chaff is flying, we need to do two things. We need to walk to a certain point, a certain spot, basically, on the floor. The texture makes it look like a little smidge here. There we go. You can see my cursor. This is roughly where we want to stand, just by going upright constantly. Once we reach that point, it's basically a little bit to the right of that track here. You know, this point, crouch by pressing X. You just need to crouch very briefly, and then you can stand up again and start walking up. Because if you crouch in this precise position with that typing, the tank will not shoot you. It will instead shoot that hill that's a little bit in front of us. And by the time that the tank has shot that hill and we start walking up, the chaff will explode, again, earliest point possible, and then the tank cannot shoot us anymore. We are free to walk up to him. Instead, what will happen then is not the tank shooting us, but the gunner. And the gunner we're going to take care of with grenades. So, once we crouch here, stand up again, go up. And of course, we don't need the chaff, we need to switch over to the grenades. As you can see, I only have 6 out of 12 here. That is because I use grenade Ocelot strat. If you're using SOCOM, you will have less SOCOM ammo, but more grenades. Don't matter right now, you should have 8 out of 12 at this point. Or 12 out of 12 if you pick the grenades after us. You have enough. You only need 2 for the tank fight here. That's actually true for all the difficulties. It's just on hard and extreme you need to walk to the left. Very easy, easy, and normal, you walk to the right as shown. Once again, menuing screws me over. You basically want to be here at the center, to the left of that slope, and then the tank will start shooting with the turrets. You maybe want to go a little bit to the right. You can use the analog stick here, it's fine. What is more important is when do you start cooking the grenade and when do you let go of the grenade. You need to start and cook at precise timing so that the grenade will easily hit the top of the tank and hitting the gunner and not fly over it. The mechanics of this game are if you cook a grenade for far too long, the grenade will fly actually way further away because Snake's like, oh god, this is getting real hot, I gotta throw this grenade further. So you don't want to cook too early. The moment that you want to cook here is this line. If you were to play this game in full motion, you would see this square texture. There's very many of them. And you could tell that there's a line in front of us, which will indicate to us when we start cooking that grenade. So, let go here. It starts. And I did a bad job and missed that because I need to explain and play the game at the same time. But basically, here where I stand right now is the second line. This is where you let go of that grenade. And if you walk directly, you should hit that tank. So, a little bit less of explaining, a little bit more action, hopefully showing what it's meant to happen. And then you will get it. Holding upright, X and square. Letting go. You can switch to the grenade here, you can do it later. Doesn't matter. Crouch here. And continue walking up. Center yourself around here, you see, there it goes, let go, and then whoop, throw. As long as the grenade, nice flash, as long as the grenade is roughly next to the gunner, it doesn't matter if you're a little bit too far to the right from him. He will die from that impact. As you can see here. Now, you have a few options at this point. You can walk to the right, grab the grenade and chaff, and come back again. Or what I recommend beginners first, you only go left quickly, grab that, and then stand here. You want to be in the middle of these two like wheels. I don't know what the technical term is. I'm German, I don't speak English that well, I'm sorry. You want to be basically around these two wheels, and then use your triangle, first person, to turn left by 45 degrees. Once again, my timing was not good, but alternatively what you can do is also just turn left and press square. Should hit the guy. Didn't hit the guy. Another case of needing to explain more than what happened. Let's show it one more time and hopefully then I'll be done. Because this fight is not complex, I swear. It just appears complex at first. Go like this. Nope. Grenade. A tank threat. Fair enough. Like this, go left, and then yoink. If you mess up the timing at all, just do as I do here. Now when the cutscene happens, mash square, so you throw the grenade immediately, and then what I usually recommend is just go up left. You can, after that a grenade explodes, also start walking to the right top side to grab the grenade and the chaff. Not entirely necessary. There's one more thing if you want to optimize this game a little bit further, and that is when you do the version without any crouching. Super easy, but a little bit more precise. Because you don't crouch, you need to be very precise on the angle there. So I go up here, and there you go. That is risky. You need to be very precise on your line there, and if you're not entirely sure, crouching gives you a little bit more leeway. So I would recommend the beginning to crouch, but just so you know, you don't need to. If you keep on walking forward, the tank will actually start only shooting to the left of you. You can just hold that line forward. And as you can also see, that tank will not move as much. Will give you a little bit more time actually to set up for the right side. But again, in the beginning, don't worry too much about it. Just grab the extra grenade here because we can. And that's a tank fight. Wow, we're only 1.5 hours on. I'm not even sure if I can do my gauntlet. I might have to delay my playthrough of all my games that I learned this year tomorrow. That's fine though. I really enjoy teaching you guys here, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Okay, so we did the stand fight, we did the tank, and we did Ocelot. 3 out of the many bosses already done. How complex did you guys think was it so far? Let me know either in live chat or in the comments, and we're going to move on because the next set of bosses is the Ninja, Mantis, and of course Wolf 1. It all starts here in the Nuke Building, and in the Nuke Building we can only use the chaff. We can use any weapon in this first room, but after that we can only use the chaff. And remember, of course, we want to have a grenade or any weapon in our hands really that allows us to move so we can run faster. It is technically not even required in the first moments. Excuse me. Oh god. Excuse me. My own spit tries to suffocate me. In this first moment, you don't even need to hold a grenade in your hand because you need to wait for that guy here on top of the stairs. First time going for Nuke Building, you'll always have to go here. And then afterwards, what I really recommend to you guys, this is easy difficulty. I see people chase after that guard, you know, so he walks to the right of the elevator, you don't need to deal with them. This is easy difficulty. Just throw the guy and keep walking towards the elevator. He's not that difficult to deal with. I swear. So if you're slow, like me, I guess we just missed the timing. So I explain way more. And don't play as well. I can only recommend watch my Glitchless Speedrun or watch the current world record at the time of you watching this video on speedrun.com to get a feel how this one room works. It is, again, very easy. Just walk that line to the top left, grab the chaff, go to the stairs, wait for the guard to turn around, and as he turns around, go up to him, throw him over the shoulder, and go to that elevator. Go down to B1, and in B1 here, we need to grab the Nikita. I will also additionally grab the stun that we have here, because we're going to make good use of that later. Now, it can happen that you get caught in the door, you're not that fast. You can't just wait leaning against the wall. That's fine. Just walk as I did here, and then you're good to go. After that, move on to B2. In B2, of course, I'm gonna use the Nikita in the hand, line ourselves a little bit to the left here, and then walk down. Hold X, and then we're gonna shoot out the electro panel. The electro panel you can do in first person, but to be honest, you don't need first person. Right? You can shoot here, hold triangle, and then go in first person around that thing. But I'm telling you, you don't need that. You can do this entirely in third person. that was actually closer than I expected. But yeah, the goal is just to get around here and then let go. And if you want at the end, you can even change your weapon already. What I'm doing is very easy. I'm going to go in third person, press square. And I'm going to count the doors. 3 doors and then hold left. So it's 1, 2, 3, left. It was a little bit late there, but it works. And as I said, I exploded that first Nikita. Thank God for save states. I can just reload that and don't miss any ammo. Just hold that line. The turrets won't shoot it at all. You can go diagonal like me through here, or just hold left and up. It's fine. And then once we get, if you're roughly at this line, you can already switch the weapon and go to SOCOM, because that's what we're going to use next after Ninja. On console/emulator, that explosion radius is rather big. If you play on PC, you want to be a little bit closer to that. Oh yeah. And before we forget it, you need this, the farmers. Especially as a beginner, the farmers is a blessing. Grab that one here, so we can get a little bit more ammo before we go to Mantis. We don't need the farmers for Ninja, but if you grab the farmers here before the Ninja, we can get more ammo. You can play this game later also entirely without the farmers, especially on easy difficulty. But, you know, for beginners, I definitely recommend grab the farmers for now and get rid of it later as you feel more comfortable with the game. Alright, you see me just walking through here, there's not much to say. Go to the right to grab the farmer's bullet and hold X again just to skip these cutscenes. And then it is time to move on. Now, in the Twin Snakes, we would immediately go into the fight here. For Metal Gear Solid 1, we can just make a save state here. We're good to go. We go into the room, and then we begin the ninja fight. We'll probably only do this once or twice. There's not much to explain. I'm just going through a few basics, and then I'll let you know what you can do. Once again, we go here. We need to hold down X. We have roughly 7 seconds of a little cutscene that we need to wait out. And then you want to go up left, and then up. Take a look how we'll walk here. Up left first, and then up. So very briefly, up left and then up. So we'll be directly on him here. We keep the weapon in our hand. In this first phase, he will actually not run away from us. Press circle 3 times to punch, punch, kick. That's the first one. Watch where he's going. Punch, punch, kick again. And now he will go into the next phase where he will run away from us. So as a beginner, maybe you don't want to keep a weapon in your hand so Ninja does not run away from you. As an advanced player, you can keep a weapon in your hand so you have an easier time running after the Ninja. Because remember, with a weapon in your hand, we run faster. For the purpose of this beginner tutorial, I'm going to show you how it looks like if we don't have a weapon in our hand. So this is the point where we unequip it and then just hold right. On easy, he will take 4 PPKs before he will start jumping on you. So 4 times he will just go left and right in his weird small jump. Yeah, make sure that you're close enough to him. 3 times, 4 times. And then after the 4th time, he will actually go into the air and dash down on you. What I recommend is, for the 5th time when he does that, position yourself in the top left corner of that right side of the room that you can see right now at this chair. If you actually make it to the chair and Ninja follows you, there's only one way he can go. It gives you much more control over that fight at that point. Because Ninja can only go to the right, and then he can only go to the left or down. So it limits severely which direction he can jump if you keep in this top left corner there. Not to worry though, just chasing after him. And 1 more PPK. And I was a little bit too far away from him. And as you can see, because I don't have a weapon in my hand, he will not immediately start running away. So for beginners, I guess like me, this will make it a little easy. Now here we go into his hide and seek phase. He can be in 8 positions. He could be on the left as we've seen right now. He could be in the top left here where my cursor currently is. He could be in the center right at this wall. There's another opposite side to the right, and then there's 2 more spots. One all the way to the right, basically on this line where Snake is, but just all the way on the right, and then in the bottom right corner. I'm not going to show you what I would recommend anyone really do. If you want to spot him, stand in the position where I am, and go into first person and basically look down to the bottom right. You can cover most of these positions and definitely see if Ninja jumps down there or not. You can also hear where he jumps, to the left or right of you, but it is a little bit more precise, because if you're in this position and you see him jump to the bottom right, you don't need to walk all the way to the right and then down. You can immediately walk like a diagonal line down there. But first I was actually going here. I'm actually going to walk forward here and grab that 𝐿𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, and then as you can see, walk to this position, check in first person, actually do it again here. A little bit like this. And you can see he was not there where I've seen him, he's instead here. Now he was on the left side of the room, so for the final phase he will go to the right. At this point, in this final phase, you can equip your weapon again, you're gonna need it anyway, so just press R1. What I recommend is, have the ninja actually teleport of you. You can also prevent him from teleporting just by punching and kicking like this with good timing. Alternatively, you can just stand on him to force him to teleport right away, have a punch, and then get away. Especially on the lower difficulties, this works quite well. Now here we go into his bone and sinew dialogue. If you deal enough damage on easy, you don't even get to that point. But unfortunately, I didn't get here. You need one last time. Again, just stand on here, it makes it easy. And now his health is low enough. Even with his sliver of health, you can get to the final phase, where he will jump to 3 positions. So the first position will be on the left side, then it will be in the bottom corner, and then in the top right. I'm going to show you where you need to stand, and just shoot him once with the 𝐿𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭. During this animation, you could also go here in this corner and grab the chaff. Definitely recommend that, because you need that later. You need to wait for his bubble to begin shrinking, then his force field will actually be small enough so you can shoot him. So first one, go to right. Don't go further than the tile that I'm on right now. If you walk further to the right, his force field will punch you down, and you will be delayed. So this is the position you want to be on to shoot to the right. And then stand roughly here, hold square so he will auto aim, and then let go. And that's a ninja fight. Now on Console Emulator, there's a lot that will be said here. A lot of cutscenes, a lot of codecs, cutscenes, again codecs, and then the final set of cutscenes. So once again, I'm happy that we can use Turbo here. I will, however, one last time just go for the basics and then do it in just one big go. So first phase, once again, I immediately go up, left, and up to walk directly into him.
Now, make me feel.
This time I'm gonna keep the weapon on to show you how the difference is. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And keep holding right as soon as you can, so it will be closer to you.
Now we can fight as warriors. Hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat.
There we gotta wait.
Who trusts his life to a weapon?
Indeed. And now just follow after him. And final time. As you can see, we'll be there. Whoop. This can also happen. He can jump on the same spawn. This is a bit weird when that happens, but that can happen. And there we go, walking to the left. Now, I should not have walked down there. I should have waited in the center. Because I'm standing right now on the spot where Ninja could land. And if he lands where I am, he will immediately start walking away again. So, not the wisest move, but it works. It works. As you can see, he was now on the bottom right. And this is why I look here in first person. If it happens, I will go back here and then look here. And he was all the way to the left. On easy, you have enough time, just walk after him. On higher difficulties, if you take too long to walk towards him, he will start attacking you. If that happens, crouch quickly, so instead of punching you, he will actually do his dive attack. And then you could do him. You want to punch a little bit to get a feeling where he will cross you. I did 3 punches instead of a punch-punch kick. Not ideal. Punches do... What? Punches do 4 damage, kicks do 8 damage. So a PPK ideally does 16 damage. If you do 3 punches, you instead will do 12 damage. And as you can see here, I actually did enough damage this time and I don't get the bone incinerator. This is only possible on easy, where you can do enough damage that early. And that's it. That was the ninja fight.
Gray Fox.
You could, in theory, turbo this entire segment, but remember, if you hold down X, you even prevent from the cutscenes loading in. So that's why I'm going to switch back between holding X and turboing X with holding down the R3. I know, it takes a while. Be patient. Final codec, and then the final set of cutscenes, and then we get out of here and get our deserved rank up. There we go. Now, ideally, you will leave this room immediately and then just move on, right? You don't want to waste time grabbing ammo. But once again, as a beginner, it probably can't hurt having more than enough. So to the right and the bottom right, there's Farmer's ammo, and in the top left, there's SOCOM ammo. If you didn't have a chance to grab that ammo during the fight, just because you were close to Ninja anyway, you can grab it after the fight. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, because it wastes time, but as a beginner, it might be worth it for you. So let's quickly take a look here. One is here, Farmer's. One is here. I'm going to use actually analog movement here. Fun fact, you want to use analog movement. I got that ammo pack here actually. I mean, there's also ration if you want it. Probably don't need it. But, you know, just so we have it. You want to use analog movement to not walk in like 45-degree angles. With analog movement, we have full 360 movement, right? And we're not using a thing in the engine. Also, I'm not using a weapon, right? There we go. Where if you were to walk in diagonal lines, you know, up right, up left, bottom right, bottom left, you want to actually move a little bit slower. Slow enough that it makes a lot of difference over the course of the fight. In the second room here, there's a few stuns that we're going to need later for the Tower A. You should definitely grab these. And then we're going to just take the elevator up here. Going back from B2 to B1. And then we're going to scare Meryl. Basically hold down here and then run a gun again at her. Let go like this so she sees you. There's a ration. We already had enough. We don't need it. And then we move on. We don't need the box in Glitchless. The box is only useful in runs that include glitches. So for the sake of this beginner's guide, we don't need the box. And there we go.
Okay, let's go.
Now, at this point, we use the SOCOM. We're going to switch from the SOCOM to the stun.
Follow me.
And then we're going to use the stun for the beginning of the next fight. So we walk down here.
Strange, there's no guard.
What happened to the music?
I'll keep a lookout. Make sure you're ready, okay?
Okay. We're going to walk left here, go to the stun. Menuing is still a thing for me where I accidentally go too far. Go up here. And there you go. There's not much you need to do. There's two things that will happen now. I'm going to quickly save here. So, just hold. You can either just walk up and have Meryl follow you. Like this. So she's in the spot where you want her to be. And then keep like upway half of this tile. If you go further, Meryl will start walking after you. And then you need to wait for her to walk back again into the position where she is right now. If you walk just to the center of this tile, you can even do single punches to edge yourself a little bit forward. She will just stand already where she will need to be instead of following you. And that will save you a little bit of time. There's one more thing that you can do if you want to go a little bit advanced, and that is throwing Meryl into the room. Happens very quickly though. I need to unequip the stun, take it like that, and then she's in the room. But it's a smidge faster than of her just walking in there. As you can see, I went a little bit too far there. It took me a little bit too long, so now she will walk back manually. At this point, skip the cutscenes once again, holding X and square, and then holding right. Because we want to use the stun that we had equipped previously, and grab that extra ammo. There's also another ration, which as you can see we already have enough. In the top left corner there's also the farmers. Now at this point, you definitely need to be ready to use the second controller. If you're on PlayStation 2, if you're on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation TV, you would need to hold down the PlayStation button to switch to the second controller. On Emulator, we just have our Duckstation settings open on the side, and then go to controller type, as we see here, and go from none, click down there, and then equip analog. Now, if we go back to the game, you see if I do inputs here, we are now in the second controller slot. And the good thing is I can actually hold down here, square. I just did one key mistake. I didn't change from the stun to the SOCOM. So we need to go back one more time.
The commander is waiting.
I need to go back to the first port, because in this room the second port does do nothing. I need to throw her in here. There we go. Once again. Walk up like this. She didn't follow me. That's what we want. And then once the cutscene begins, like this, hold right, square X. And there we go. Now, after we threw the stun, switch to the SOCOM. You can also go to the farmers directly. I will recommend the first shot. If you do it correctly, Mantis will always be in the top right corner. You can just use the SOCOM right away and spare a little bit of farmers ammo. Whoops, grab that. Go over there, and as soon as she fades, switch to the second controller. As we can see, before even this black screen happened, I was pressing X to crouch, stand up again, and then look to the top right. And as you can see, while I was slow, this will always set up Mantis to be in the top right corner. The first psychic shot that Mantis does even if you miss it, don't worry. If you get hit, don't worry. The first shot of him doesn't deal any damage. It will always be like that. So if you do it correctly, after the stun has been thrown and you stop walking, switch to the second controller and then set it up so you don't move around. On the spot where you are, press square and upright to align yourself to the top right. And then after the black screen, let go of square and you shoot Mantis right away. Now, for the next part, we want to do a little bit of a trick. This is glitchless, but it's not a glitch to have Mantis skip one phase of Meryl. And how that works is very simple. You need to deal 7 shots of damage to Mantis. If you do 7 shots of Mantis damage, throw a grenade on him, you will actually skip the first Meryl phase and go directly to the second one. Again, this is an intended mechanic based on how damage calculation works with Metal Gear Solid 1 and Mantis, and we're allowed to use any glitchless. So what I'm going to do now, after the first shot has been set, I'm going to follow in with triangle and then use the farmers for an easier time to give 2 more damage shots. And then after the 2 extra shots, he will go into the center of the room and use the chairs. For the chairs, I will walk to the top left or top right and then start just aiming after him with the analog stick or the D-pad. So let's see it in action. Switching over here, press triangle to see where he is at. It's bottom right. It's here again. I'll walk here. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's that easy. You gotta practice that, of course, right? But the first 7 shots you can do very easily, even without the chairs moving around. Now the next part is tricky. You can wait for him to stop with the chair phase and then throw the grenade on him, or you can do it while that happens. It's a little bit risky, but it can work out. So I'm gonna make sure here, I'm gonna quickly make save states just to be sure. Throw like this, and then boom. And if you hit him roughly center with your explosion, you need to be on top of him. If you go too close, the grenade will pop behind him, it won't work. But if you throw the grenade so it pops basically on top of him, you can see Meryl just falls over and we skip the first phase. It's that easy.
Meryl, stand right where he can see you and blow your brains out.
Alternatively, as I said, you can also wait for the chairs to be gone here. And then throw this. It works the same way. 7 damage shots on easy or very easy, and the grenade Meryl will be skipped. And then for each difficulty that you go higher, it will be 4 more. So easy, very easy is 7, normal is 11, hard is 15, and then on extreme it's 19 shots. Of course, because it's extreme, you will be also way further in the stages and you will do many more attacks. So it's a little bit more tricky. And that's probably the biggest hurdle for speedrunners when they do extreme, that Mantis fight. All the other ones, we have a few more strats where it is easy enough. But that Mantis fight is usually the breaking point for many if they go for extreme. So, thankfully, again, we're on easy right now. 7 shots and a grenade, and we skip the first phase. And then, where we are right now, walk towards Meryl and throw her. There's one thing that you could do if you want. You can use a grenade to throw at her if we're that far away. And it works in the same way. So if you're that far away, you don't need to throw her even. You can just throw a grenade at her face. Once again, he's in hide and seek phase. This time we don't need to prepare any, phase skips. So this time we're going to follow after him directly with holding triangle and throwing a grenade at him. So he's right by me. Come here. Boom. I'm going to my favorite spot here, roughly on the corner of that carpet. I'm going to go to the farmers and then just shoot him another, I think, 6 times. If you're on the corner of that carpet, he will not hit you with the chairs. And that's the Mantis fight. As soon as you're done, remember to unequip or just set port 2 to none. And then we move on. Once more, if you want more information about this fight, this was very surface level, just to explain the basics, but there's of course more information on the MGS Speedrunners wiki, MGSSpeedrunners.com. Once again, remember to equip a weapon in your hand, walk forward, hold X here because there's a cutscene that we want to skip, and then we work our way towards Wolf. Now, in these caves, there's a cool trick that we can do to go out of bounds, but since this is glitchless, we don't need to bother. We can just go here, walk forward. Remember to get the stuns out. They're going to be key to walking back without any issues. And if you have any issues here with the doggos walking forward, if you time it well, you can just punch them before they attack you. It's not the nice way, but hey, it works. The second dog you can usually ignore in this cave. And there we go. Walk forward here. Have Meryl explain to you what happens. If you have many more issues, this is where the box could be useful. There's a mechanic in the game if you were to grab the box. Punch her here and quickly equip the box. And that way the dogs will pee on the box. If you were to go back for the caves and have the box on you, then the dogs will smell their own pee and actually not attack you. Because they think they're one of you. Just in case you never knew about the mechanic, it is there. I would highly encourage you, get used to these dogs, punch them quickly enough, and then they're not an issue. They're way worse on the twin snakes, so MGSR 1, they're fine. Alright, we're going to move on, deal with the entire wolf segment, and then when we get captured, I'm going to do a short break, and afterwards we move on to the second half of that speedrun guide. Don't worry. Second half is way less details because there's way less bosses that we need to deal with. So this first half is really the most work right now. I'm telling that myself a little bit because I'm like, I'm feeling it. I hope everyone likes it, of course. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're interested, like legitimately interested in picking up this speedrun. Once again, Glitchless is like a nice entry point, really like frustration free. Learn how to deal with the bosses, and then if you think you're good with glitches and want to move on to runs that have glitches, just put them on top. It's a great entryway. But yeah, moving on. We're gonna find out who's here. It is Wolf. Hold down X. And then, of course, we gotta wait here for Meryl to walk around.
This place is mine.
Meryl will now walk her great path that we need to follow her.
And since we can't use the
We will actually not follow her.
Leave it to me.
In case you never knew about that. We literally just need to hold up. That's the trick. Hold up with the D-pad, go straight into the cutscene trigger, and you're good to go. There's no need to follow her like this. Another thing really where I wouldn't use the analog stick, I can't hold like a perfect up. If you just do it with the D-pad, you're good to go.
So, what do you think? Pretty good, huh?
How did you know where the mines were?
It sounds weird, but when Mantis dove into my mind, I was able to see where the mines were placed. Are you impressed?
Well, a little bit.
Only a little?
As I said, hold up with the D-pad. And that's it. Go next to skip the first cutscene. After this one. And then Turbo. And I'm gonna remove the cursor. I'm so sorry. We don't need that. I know, lots of talking. Hold down on the D-pad to not walk in any of these claymores. And then you're good to go. Now, we have the stuns in our hand. You want to walk roughly to this point, like after the second tile when it begins to go dark, and throw the stun. And then when you throw that stun, actually, we have enough. We have picked up a lot. We can actually walk around the dogs without them attacking us because they're going to be blind for a few seconds. Very useful. Ideally, you do this without stopping like I did, but, you know, explaining and running at the same time is a little bit tricky. Walk down here. Align yourself basically with that corner, and then just press X when you're going down there. You're immediately at the right point. And then you're good to go. Walk through the door and you're good. Here at this point, I would definitely recommend, again, using the analog sticks. There's a lengthy path that you need to walk down here. Ideally, you don't hit this couch, but, you know, whatever. Now we need to walk all the way back to the Armory. So, we gotta go through the Nuke Building. And that means we can only have the chaff. So we need to go here to the chaff to keep walking as fast as possible. Go up one, press circle. And then when we get out of the elevator, there's no guards in the way. You do not need to worry. Even if it's extreme difficulty, there's no guards in the way. Keep walking left, going down, and then walk all the way to the door. There we go. You can do a little trick here where we spin around. Not like this. There you go. And ideally, you don't want to walk too far to the right. Just keep down here, roughly on that line, and then you're good to go. It's that easy. Now for the canyon, there will be more claymores again and additionally turrets, but it's fine. No need to worry. Just walk down like this. We want to walk until we hit the texture of the slope here, which is here, and we want to walk to this center tile. I'm going to position myself very slowly right now. Ideally, you do this in full movement. Keep down here and you don't hit any of these claymores. When you get back up again, thankfully we just need to hold up and go back to this line. But going down, we need to do it like this. Can use the D-pad a little bit here to align ourselves, and that's it. I'm going to go back to the stun. Because the Armory has a few variations. I'm going to go through a few different variations that you can do. Different speeds, different difficulty, and of course different amount of time that you need for them. I'm going to make a save state here, and I would recommend that for you as well if you practice. Because as soon as we leave the elevator, it begins. Going down to P2. And then the first version that we're going to do is we're always going to throw the first guard. So we hold down first and then down left, unequip. And the no alert version works like this, where we just walk down here. And I forgot that this guard turns around faster. I usually don't do this, so forgive me for a moment. We do this one more time. As I said, the no alert version. I'm gonna show both ways, I guess. That's not the way. So my microphone is a little bit in my way. What's happening? There we go. Yeah, I can see better now. There you go. You can do this alertless way like this. Wait at the corner. Wait for the guy to turn around. Throw him, go in here. Once in here, the door closes. No need to worry. Hold up right here and go here. The lasers can't hurt you like this. Now, this is not 80%, so we gotta go here. Snake stands up where his feet are, so it is safe to turn around and then go down. And go back. And I wiggle my way around like this. I guess I accidentally turn around. And make sure that this guard won't see you. Once you pass this door, you're good to go. And then you can get up. That is though slow, but you know, for a beginner, maybe it's like the easiest version I can see. There's no alert. There's no stress involved. The other way that we can do this is just don't throw the guard. We can just immediately bypass him here. This first one always needs to be thrown, but we can wait here in the corner. Wait for him to turn around. He will walk out of our way fast enough. Go down here. Go like this. Grab. Grab. Remember, he stands up where his feet are. And now we could have walked south and past him, or we do it like this. Easy peasy. That's the versions that you can do if you don't want to deal with any alerts. Now, the definitely faster version, this is why we have the stun here, is where we use the stun. I'm going to show you two variations of that. One that is a little bit more stressful, and that is the recommended version. Go down here, throw that guard. Go down here and throw this guard. Throw a grenade basically against the door. Grab these PSGs. And ideally, the guards will land in your door here to keep it open. And walk as fast as possible towards that elevator. Press it twice. Walk here. Make sure to not be too close to that guard. You want to be like a snake's width away from him. You don't want to stand in him, or else he will re-alert. As soon as we walk up to the elevator, we want to have that alert go away and time it just right so the elevator door opens and we can go away. Punch, punch, kick. Evasion time is over. And boom, we're out. That's like the fastest version. You know? An alternative, if the timing doesn't work out for you, it's the final version I'm going to show you. We can go down, we can do the same in the beginning, but if the elevator or if your timing does not match up and the guard will stand up way too early, which is probably hard for me to explain, but we'll see. Throw the stun here, get in, grab the PSG-1 and the ammo, you need all three things. And if it happens that you get stuck somewhere, like, oh, it doesn't work out, you can only press the elevator button once and then go right. Unfortunate that the elevator comes down fast. Anyway, if the timing doesn't work out, just walk to the right side here and stand like this. The guard will walk back, and then as soon as it turns left, you can immediately go back up again. And I guess unfortunately for us, the elevator door closed on us. I think usually it stays open. But yeah. That first alert version that I showed you, where you just walk straight to the elevator and get out, is the fastest version. That's the one you want to practice with. And after that, we're done. Go back to the chaff, and then we go back to the canyon. Going back to the canyon, as I said before, just hold up. You won't hit any of the claimers. As soon as we hit that big slope on the texture, go to the left line here and throw the chaff. Going up, sadly the turrets will hit you unless we have a chaff active. And then we just walk past it. If you come from the top, go down. We don't need to throw a chaff. Just need to walk a clean line. Going up. Walk up at the middle, throw the chaff, and move on. Now, there's multiple versions of this Nuke building. I'm going to show you both that you can do on console. But, of course, the beginner's version is a little bit slower. So, what you can do is walk here to the right, align yourself with that white line. Go down. Ideally, you flip like this to be a little bit faster. And then throw the chaff here on this tile. Get ready to throw this guard. Ideally do a quick throw, so throw and then re-equip your grenade. And then you will just walk past here with that camera once the chaff is active. Now that's the slow version, so it's a fast version. fast version is something for pros, I would almost say. It's something that was introduced by the Englishman and the TAS of this game. The TAS played this on the extreme difficulty. As a human, I don't think it's even human possible on extreme. It's super precise, but on easy, where the guards don't see that far, it is easy. So I'm going to show you what the TAS does. Walks down here. We're going to keep as clean line as possible. We want to be really quick here. Turn around like this. And start walking left here. The first rocket, don't do anything. At the second rocket, start cooking your chaff. Then walk up like this. Up here, and then at the middle of the stairs, hold right. The guard will be distracted. Throw that. He walked way too far for my comfort, but whatever. And then go in here. That's what the TAS does. That's what humans do, at least on easy and normal difficulty. On hard, I think it's also not possible anymore. It's way too precise. And on extreme, it's basically impossible. Because once again, the TAS does it flawless. A human can probably not replicate it unless, you become yourself basically a TAS. Works fun and easy, but not normal, It's like this. The timing is important when you cook the grenade and how you walk that line. I'm not going to go into further details. This is just the beginner's guide. The beginner's guide, I recommend go right side of the new building, align yourself with the white line, throw the chaff at the tile on the floor, and throw that guard. Walk up all the way around and go to the elevator. But just so you know where the next step can be if you look for more time saves. This was it. All right, off to B1 and then off to the wolf fight. Just keep here the straight lines going. At least in this room, you want to probably use the analog stick again. Again, I know I use the D-pad way too often. I'm not the expert to tell you where the analog stick's better or not. Basically, whenever you can't just go straight lines, analog stick probably superior. Will be the same thing also here in these caves. Once again, go underneath here. I'm not going to use any stuns. I'm just going to deal with the dogs. That one dog is in the top left corner now, for example. He will not even notice me. I'm going to walk here, hug the wall, go right, and that dog may notice me, the second one, but he won't attack me that quickly. By the time the dog would attack me, we're already past here. Now, Wolf 1. Walk to the store, make a save state to practice, and then switch to the PSG1. Why do we set the fight up like this? If you walk to the door and go into the PSG, we will automatically lie down. We lie down with our hitbox, we hit the low trigger, and we start the Wolf 1 fight. But we start the Wolf 1 fight already with the PSG1 equipped. We will be immediately lying down and will be immediately ready to start shooting back at Wolf. Wolf takes 6 shots, if I remember correctly. And she can hide by the pillar, and she can walk left and right from the pillar. This is a fight you can end very quickly, in less than 20 seconds, if she doesn't hide, and if all your shots hit. The basic technique that I'm going to tell you is, if you take a shot, we're not going to use any of the diazepam, or diazepam? You know what I mean, the tranquilizers, where we're going to steady our aim. We're going to play entirely without that. How does it work? Simple. For the first few seconds, when we go into the scope of the PSG1, our aim won't shake. So we're going to constantly equip and unequip between shots. Let's see that in action. Let's get him Savestate and let's go. And I didn't walk far away. I want to be a little bit closer. There we go. I'm going to hold up and square to immediately start aiming forward, because we always need to aim a little bit higher. Now, I didn't hit her right away, so that was unfortunate, but you can tell, even if we're just starting to shake, we can get the first one on you. Unfortunately, she was hiding right away here. And you definitely want to make sure that your shot is hitting. No use to unequip and re-equip. The other effect is that even if we miss a shot, like, we can immediately start attacking. For the final shot, we can even chase after her, because we are constantly unequipping and re-equipping. Whoops. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, babe. What are you doing? gonna use the ration now, I guess. Are you kidding me? So, because it was the final shot, we can even spam down here. Let's do that again. Hopefully cleaner this time. You get the basics from seeing, I think. Hold up in square to be ready. As soon as you're on her, let go square. She's currently hiding, so I need to wait. And while I wait, I'm gonna constantly unequip and re-equip to be entirely steady. She goes right. As soon as the shot lands, there we go. Her iframes even allow us to shoot her while she's standing up. God damn it. Ah, come on, I'm so close. So again, there's absolutely no need to get the diazepam. What am I doing? What am I doing? I missed it there. Yeah, understandable. Have a nice day. You can see her breathing behind that pillar, so you know she's there. And that's a fight. I'm trying one last time to be a little bit more clean, okay? What's important is, if she's on the right there, you just want to hold R1, R1. You don't want to hold up with the D-pad, for example. Because if you hold up with the D-pad and then do R1, R1, you will turn to the center again. When she's standing up in this position, you can, by the way, hit her there. One last time, come on. I really like this fight, I don't know why. I had this individual level record for a while, and it's super fun to compete on there. I don't know. Once again, we're waiting here. We saw quickly that she moved to the right. Sadly, we got shot, so we couldn't retaliate there. Oh yeah. Oops. Come on. Okay, I'm bad at shooting right now. Wow. Well, I give up with the clean version, I guess. We're just gonna finish the fight now. She's there. Yeah, she's there. I was like, what? And sometimes she just doesn't attack us. Sometimes she just walks back. Wow. As you can see, after I got shot, I purposefully hold up on the D-pad and then, whilst holding up the D-pad, press R1, R1. You can also use this to your advantage to align yourself with the center again. If you get turned around after a shot, hold that D-pad and then R1, R1, you will be immediately looking back to the center again. But if you want to keep turned, for example, because you want to shoot her once when she's prone, and then when she goes up, want to shoot her again, only press R1, R1. Again, where she's now. Ah, she's behind there. Yeah, it's not an idea, fine. Ah, you're kidding me. There she is. Like, come on, just one more time. Kind of embarrassed myself here in front of all these students. Okay, what? There you go. As you can see, while she was standing up there, technically behind the pillar, you can shoot her. It's a little bit precise, but it works. There we go. That was better. Much better. Alright, and then just walk forward and get captured. And that will be the end of the first half. I'm gonna take a short... I think I'm gonna take a 10-minute break. Sorry guys, I'm gonna need to rest my voice a little bit, need to grab some new water. We're gonna come back with the second half and then escape from the prison cell, so I'll be right back. There we go, second half. You made it so far, congratulations. We just took a short break and we're back right now. So we've been just captured and I'm gonna show you how to deal with the next half of the game. So we just been captured here. We skip the cutscene and we get into this dialogue. We basically just want to hold X as soon as we see the fade out after the explanation, and then we're gonna mash select. It will be coming up now. So we have one more fade away. That one, and then we mesh. Nope, that one, and now we're gonna mesh select. Unless you want to go for the mirror landing, then you're gonna mesh a circle to replenish your life. But in general, speedrunners, for those that wonder, Speedrunners usually don't do the mirror ending anymore unless it's for charity as a, you know, donation incentive. Like, hey, give more money and we do the mirror ending, stuff like that, you know. So, ideally, we give up at this point. Saves a lot of time. It doesn't really change the speedrun unless that we go into the sunset with Meryl instead of Otacon, so yeah. Make sure, after we get out of this room, hold X, there's a few more cutscenes to come, and a codec call. But we're gonna wait for that one. In the Twin Snakes, the remake on GameCube, we actually get this codec right away. So I guess I was confused for just a second. But yeah. This is MGS 1 Glitchless Emulator. We cannot do anything here to speed this up. We need to wait for Johnny to make his corner and then get out. And then we're gonna meet up with Otacon, who gives us catch-up, the level 6 door card, and of course also a ration. Now, usually in glitches we don't do this, but I can quickly show you what that event glitch is that we can use in all bosses in any percent after we have the codec call. Because it doesn't invalidate the tutorial, right? As I explained earlier, way back before we went into the stealth fight, there's a vent that we can use to perform the vent glitch, and it's very easy because we're just gonna put Snake in that vent or underneath a bed, as we're gonna show in just a second. And then if we're halfway in there, we're just gonna go first person, looking up, and then quickly letting go of both and press X, and then we're gonna stand up. And that will put us out of bounds. And any percent works like this. You do the regular route, docks, heliport, tank hangar, and then you go down there to the cells, go into the vent, put yourself out of bounds, and walk all the way around to be right in that cell. Just here. That is how much any percent cuts out of the game. And as we see here, we just go like halfway in here, so our knees are basically in there. First person, up, letting go, and then holding X. And that's the vent glitch. In all bosses, we use vent glitch, for example, to not needing to call Meryl. After we fought Ocelot, we go back in the tank hangar, and instead of walking through, you know, the lasers and stuff, we go back to the vent where we came in first, perform the vent glitch there, and then walk out of bounds around the door, and then go directly to the canyon. So vent glitch in all bosses doesn't save that much time, it just saves us to call Meryl. And any percent again, it saves a lot of time. Back to glitches though. I'm gonna go here, hold X, and what I'm usually doing is I walk right, down, up, a little bit down, just tap left, so I turn around, and my legs are now in the door. How we set this up basically helps us later to choke out Johnny. It's very easy. L2, up twice, and then circle. Wait for the catcher to disappear, and then press L2 again and up. I did a little bit faster because I'm practicing that, and then press L1 to unequip it. Now, once Johnny opens the door, we press X, and because our legs are all the way over there, when we stand up, we'll be right behind Johnny. And we can mash square to choke him out. When we're done choking him, press L1 to equip the card to interrupt that animation and letting go way early of Johnny. Saves around 1 second. And then we just go up here. What we also have is immediately the door key equipped. Go up here, ideally use the analog key, and you take a line to just barely touch that box and go behind the torture machine. And oh yeah, last time we used the PSG1, you don't want to press R1. What you want to use instead is the chaffs next, so go to the chaffs. Because we're gonna need it again, going up the canyon and up the Nuke Building. I'm gonna show you once again the beginner's version, because this is the beginner's guide. And as you can see here at this elevator, I needed to press twice at the bottom to get in, and I need to press up once and then circle to get out of here. And that's it for the first main building. We're never coming back here again. Here we go. Once again, just like we did last time, in the canyon, just hold up. Excuse me. Just hold up like this. If you get to the slope, go to the left to be aligned with the texture, and throw a chaff. That way we don't hit any other claymores, and that way we were not getting hit from the turrets. It is also the cleanest line that we can take up to the door to get out of here. Crouch, lay forward, and go through the door. It is a little bit faster than waiting for the door to open all the way and then walk through. If you crouch through and prone through the door, it's faster. Once again, align yourself with this white line. Do a little flip. Stand up. Press the chaff here at this time. Throw their guards. Ideally do a quick throw by, after throwing him, re-equipping the chaff with R1. And then keep on walking here towards the elevator. And there we go. And that was the final elevator of the game. There's no more elevators for us to take. Thankfully, I would say. I mean, there is elevators, but it's not elevators that we need to wait for. So that's the important thing. And also for the final time, we're going through the caves here and make our way to the communication towers. The communication towers are the reason why we grabbed all these stuns. They're gonna make our life so much easier. Go prone here again, go up here again. The dog is on the left, she probably won't even see us. Take a beeline here. Oh, she did see us. She did see us, but we're already passed. And there we go. Like again, the MGS1, the dogs are not a problem at all, thankfully, so we can just move on. Now what will happen is we have another cutscene encoding here where Snag will lament of losing Meryl. And because we've given up, technically she's dead. However, she will appear again, so she was just captured. Whatever. For us, important is a lot of dialogue, just turbo it. Takes a long while. And we go up immediately because we will always be placed in the center here. If we walk top right, we're gonna waste time by not walking a straight line forward. After the coding cutscene, we're gonna take again a beeline here to go inside that tower. And what we're gonna do is either inside or before, I do it before, go to the stun. I do it the longest way. I was in chaff, I should have gone down twice. Anyway, moving on here, we're gonna use the stun. We're switching back to the D-pad because it makes it easier for me. And then ideally in full motion, we're gonna start this ascent. Roughly on this segment, start cooking the stun and keep holding left. So when you come here, go here, go here, go here. First line, second line, start cooking. Walking towards the door, letting go. After the explosion, move on and grab the rope. Because this is glitchless. There's no bubble skip here. There's a trick here that we can do in order to save time by going through the frozen door. Once again, that's called the bubble skip. It is a little bit tedious because it is a little bit precise how to set up, and it still only has a 50% chance of success rate. We don't know how to deal with this. Instead, we're gonna throw here a stun on the floor 4 to get rid of this guard. We're gonna throw another stun as soon as we hit number 9. That's after 8, so that will be now. Go left. As soon as we meet the second guard, throw another stun. Because the guns are the guards are coming back to back very quickly now. As soon as we meet the second one, throw yet another stun. Unfortunately, we were just a little bit too early. That's fine though. Timing is a little bit off. As you can see here, this guy is off. You can also just throw these guys. Just make sure to let go, unequip first with R1 and then throw the guards. So you could have also thrown a stun there. I will put an info on screen where it precisely says where and when to throw these stuns. And if I remember correctly, the final one will be at 23. You can also see here, oh my god, stop right so fast. Oh god, we just barely escaped from him. And unfortunately we didn't hit this upcoming guy. Okay, well, whatever. Moving on. These guys are a little bit faster than us, so yeah, we gotta be careful here. Whoops, don't align yourself like this. Just go to the ladder and go up here. And that's the tower by Ascent. It's not that difficult. We grabbed so many stuns. We're perfectly fine. We could have done with less, but you know, as a beginner, grab more just to be sure. And we can, like, running and gunning with weapons is just not useful. Snake's aim is just not working that well. In the Twin Snakes, it works better. Near engine and all that, but in the original, it doesn't work that well. So just learn when to throw these stuns, and you're good to go. You don't need to deal with them at all. Alternatively, you can also quick throw them. Works the same way, but you run into the risk of being either knocked down or being shot. And that's all I have to say about that. It's not that difficult, especially on easy. It will be more tricky later on next stream. But for that, I recommend, again, if you want to go further than just a beginner's guide, go to MGSSpeedrunners.com. Now we're on top of the roof here. I'm going to unequip the stun, and I'm going to go from the cart to the rope. I'm going to hold down X and square and start walking up. I can equip the stun here again, that's fine. And unequip it to walk a little bit more. The important aspect is that we have the rope when we get here. Alternatively, you cannot equip the rope and do it here. Then you would hold L2 and X to equip the rope. Because I already did that, I can just hold forward. I'm going to make another save state as soon as we left here. And I'm going to explain the Rappel. Rappel, fairly easy. No need to worry. So, Rappel Sequence, we are getting our health refilled, but we cannot use the ration. What we're going to do is hold down an X as soon as we get here, so we jumped on. Like that. And we position ourselves on that girder. Get through this codec, hold down left. Roughly at the corner of the building here, not all the way, but on the corner of the building, hold down left X. So we basically jump to the left and then swing from the bounce back to the right. Like this. Now, jump down right. We made it all the way over to the other side on the girder again, and then we can walk further. The more time we spend here walking, the better. Now, hold down left again, swing all the way to the other side. And we're back again on the girder. Getting damaged here is fine. This is the easy difficulty. Not much to say. And then swing down here. There's no more girders, so just make sure that you're on the left side. And that's how you do the Rappel. Let me show that once more in full speed. So again, make sure to hold down an X here. If you want to do it manually, doesn't work, hold down an X. First climb, you jump. Only then you get on the girder. There you go. Check with the codec. Not for too long. Then walk down. Corner of the building, down left. Down right on the middle. Down left all the way. Make sure to press down left before you press X, or you don't go quickly enough. And then you do a little bit faster even than I did before. Let's go. And that's it. There's really not much to it. Just remember these directions and you're good to go. Now, the Walkway Guards, that's a different thing. Though the Italian speedrunner Trombocino found a very nice way how to do with that.
To do this, first of all, equip your stun grenades using R1. Then come here and hug the wall like this. You have to stay right on the wall. Then equip the PSG-1, and as soon as the scope starts to appear, shoot twice on easy and up to 4 bullets to kill the guard in extreme. See? Then you just go, you wait 1-2 seconds, and throw a stun grenade. As you can see, the guards are in a very convenient position. They just can't shoot you, and you just go straight to the catwalk. You just go straight, and you can't fail this. Basically, it's foolproof. It is slower by 2 or 3 seconds compared to a perfect catwalk.
One last time. After we get down here from the Rappel, jockey on, grab the PSG-1 ammo, all the way here to the left, a little bit further, shoot the first guy, Damn it. Almost made it past them. Just throw the next stun. And you should be good to go. Again, I'm gonna include Trombocino's video here. It's way better than mine. And there we go. Also, remember to equip the door key. Jeez. The fun thing is, as soon as we're through here, as soon as we're through the door, the guards are gone. They literally vanished. That's how easy it is. I have to admit, just as a teacher right now, I'm not the best at this one part. So once again, more resources are also linked in the video description down below on YouTube. Moving on to the segment where I know a little bit more. The Hind. So we're going down all the way to the Tower B. Gonna get this weird cutscene. Snake can jump one floor, which is a little bit disappointing, but I guess he just doesn't have insurance for his legs. He doesn't want to break his legs. I understand, but still, come on man, you're the hero. At least in the Twin Snakes, they make the gap a little bit bigger. Walk all the way up here. Try to keep it close to the rating. And then also get ready to switch to the chaff. I will be a little bit low on the chaff right now, unfortunately. Ideally, you have the chaffs from the tank fight. So you would be at +3 here. Total 6. Walk in the cutscene trigger, hold X, move on. Now, there's 4 turrets sections coming up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we basically don't need to worry about them at all. It's easy difficulty. I'm gonna go here and equip the ration if I feel worried about the health. But I'm not. I'm gonna go to the chaff manually, because after the cutscene we're gonna have the 𝐿𝐴 last equipped. Thanks for this tutorial so far. Quick setup question. What emulator are you using? I'm using the Duckstation Emulator. It's a brand new one, it's very good, runs stable, allows us to actually tweak the settings way higher, and has the game load way faster than any other console. Now, in the turret sections, I have only 3, so I'm gonna use them on 2, 3, and 4. Make sure that after every second turn after the turret, throw a chaff. That was a little bit too late. Pass them 1, 2, third turn, throw a chaff. Now I'm empty. And remember, I want to have at least a weapon in our hand, so just go to the grenade, it's fine. Oh, the farmers, I take it. And then we're good to go. As you can see, we only took damage from the first set of turrets, so I should not need the ration. But we're gonna start the Hind fight next, and I want to have at least as much health as I can. Go back to the door card and walk all the way up. Now, here's a philosophical thing. I'm not sure what to tell you. Ideally, you don't grab all the stinger ammo that you can get here. There's, I think, 15 shots here. And you have in your stinger right now 6. On easy, you only need 6 shots to get out of the first phase of the Hind. We're talking though emulator, we don't have God mode like we do on PC, and especially glitchless, we don't have it at all. So my recommendation is go and grab this stinger box and try to work with that. The rest of them, keep them for the Wolf 2 fight. If you grab the extra ammo that you can find here, you will not have stinger ammo for the Wolf fight, but only the ones that you can grab on top of Hind, which is 5. If you grab this one and leave the other boxes alone, we have 5 after the Hind fight. Can grab 2 more boxes here. You also have 15 stingers for Wolf 2, which will follow right after this one. Makes it much easier compared to sniping her, so yeah, that's my recommendation. So you grab the stinger, grab the box of the stinger, and grab the box of stinger ammo here at the ladder, and then you have 11 to work with at the Hind. Alright, let's go up there and actually fight the Hind. In the beginning, especially on easy, it's not that difficult. 2 phases. First phase we need to shoot him down 6 times to get into phase 2. And then I think it's another 7 shots that we need for him. So we walk through here and get ready. Hold X and R2 so we menu right away. With X and R2 we go right into the menu, go down twice, go into stinger, or square, up. I don't know what's fast. L2 and X to go to the stinger. Let go. We are in the stinger. Hold square, tap up until you see these red boxes, and then you just cannot miss the Hind. With that first shot start off, good start. Didn't waste any time, immediately get down to the meat and bones of this fight. The next one, we wait here until he starts shooting us. And of course I messed up here. Let's go for it again. X and that 2. Down to the stinger. Up and square. Boom. Nothing needs to be done. Now just endure the one shot. It's fine. And then shoot. You will always get the second shot on him like this. Okay? Just tank the damage of the first one. And then set off your second stinger. Very easy. And basically not miss it. The first time, if you shoot that early, he will always fly across your head. Will work fine. Third and fourth shot. Easy enough to do. Fifth and sixth. Can get a little bit hairy. Definitely takes a lot of practice. So, third time he will come back here, like this. He will not shoot us at all. And now, you just see, he flies over us, so we can just shoot up. And I died because I didn't watch my health. But you could see, if you quick enough, and if you equip your rations, you can tank all the damage and do the first phase, just standing where you are. And go right at it. Once again, I'm struggling a little bit because I need to explain and play at the same time. I'm going to try to just focus and play it out a little bit. Okay, once again, XL2. Square it up. First shot, easy peasy. Look like this. We'll come forward to you. Second shotgun. Now make sure to be on ration. You fly over your head, get him like this, easy peasy. And now, take a look. He will be coming towards you, so you can shoot like this. The problem is, again, here comes my experience from PC player and using God mode here. If you have God mode, you just need to aim at him. Console and glitchless, different situation. What I can recommend as a beginner, and I'm gonna go back quickly and reset one last time here. Just make sure first and second shot are going great. Maybe the third one, and after the third one, retrieve back between the two boxes. In the first phase, the hind will not drop below the building, so you cannot lose time like that. The first phase, the hind will always be on top, ready to be shot. Makes it easy for you. Wow, I can't believe I missed that. Come on, man. I'm trying to be cool in front of the kids. There you go. I need to wait for the red box. Let's go wait here, get shot, shoot at him, second shot in. You can make your way a little bit back here already. For example, like this. I missed the red box. There you go. Now we'll fly over our head again. We can also just move away here and wait on the opposite side. Go like this. If you want to make it easy for yourself, you stand like this. So you just wait for him always to fly over your head, basically. In this situation, you need to wait a little bit. Ow. Oh, he's on the other side. I'm always playing this casual. This is not my best fight, I guess. As soon as you hear him yell, "Nice shot!" you know, phase 1's over, phase 2 starts. If that's the case, immediately walk down here and grab that ammo. You want that. Go back here and stand in the corner. Ideally, grab the ration even, that's fine. You can stand in this layer. If you stand here, that's perfectly fine. The damage will be done south of you, not where you are right now. But what this position enables you is to, whoops, look at him like this, and set off a stinger right away. There you go. Unfortunately, it was moving past that girder there, so... Phase 2 now. Phase 2 is actually very easy, even on extreme. Because in the beginning, if he's right above you, he will shoot away from you first. And you can actually set up like this here. So you basically stand where this ammo box spawned. Once again, we're on easy, we can take that damage. I would just accept a little bit of damage here. In phase 2, it can happen that the hind will dive below you. But if you time your shots right, he will not dive below you. He will be caged, as we say. As you can see here... oh god, where is he going? As you can see, I grabbed the next ammo and then got done with it. Now he's actually diving. You can see I wasted a little bit of time here, grabbing the ammo and then coming back here. So this is the situation you don't want to have happen. We were lucky that he didn't stay down for that long. This is easy difficulty after all. But yeah, Finally done the final shot. And then I empty my stinger ammo. Make sure to get rid of your stinger ammo. Why? You want a new box and grab all 5 shots from the new box. So you will leave this fight with 5 shots. As I explained before the fight, then you can go down, grab the other boxes, and have a much easier time with Wolf 2. Alright, now that you've seen the basics a little bit, again, 6 shots first half, and more later, where we try to cage him and not have him fly below the building. I'm going to try to do one last clean attempt. A little bit less talking, a little bit more focus. Let's see what I can do. There you go. Always the same start. Make sure to have the ration on. There you go. Wait here if you want. Come on. Yeah, the stinger doesn't curve that much, unfortunately. Again, in the first half, he will actually keep his distance and stuff. Like, he's not really a danger to you. If you want to be fast, you don't want him to be that far away. So we can wait here. Oop. Sometimes it's faster to unequip quickly and then re-equip. That should be 6 if I counted correctly. Wasn't. Well, math's not my strong point, I guess. Ow, it was right in front of me. There you go. There you go. Once again, stand just here in the corner, like this. Like, he cannot shoot you like this. The damage will be south of you. We already grabbed the extra box. So easy peasy. And once again, if you don't do this fight perfectly, again, this is aimed at beginners. You usually start, like, it's fine. You know, I'm in the beginner's too. There you go. This time, I got the boxes easier and I got the first shot off. Usually he will come down to my corner here in the bottom left. If you look at the minimap, yep, there you go. Yeah. Got the first shot off. Now he will be... You gotta watch that radar odds as well. And then I'm gonna make my way up here in that corner, basically. You can shoot blind at him. You don't need to lock on him. His hitbox is huge. Like, seriously, it's huge. So, no need to worry. Just make sure you send off the shots early enough so you don't sway away from him. If you're too early like me, well, you're gonna wait a little bit longer. Takes a little bit of practice to get the timing down. I was, you know, out of stingers, so I needed to unequip quickly and let go again. If you're too fast with unequipping, the ammo won't spawn in as quickly. You need to go into the stinger again, basically to look away from the stage. My position here on that corner was good enough, so the box was always spawning. It can happen that the box doesn't spawn in right away, and you'll be confused, like, hey, where's the box not coming in? Walk a little bit south, look away from the stage with FPV or stinger, and then come back again, and then the box should be spawning. Oh yeah, that's all I can say about the Hind. I have not mastered it myself on console. I mastered it on PC, so if you want to learn how the glitched version works on PC, tutorials on my channel. Let's move on. We've only one more boss fight in this disc 1. We're gonna make sure that we're gonna do this one a little bit better. You've seen at the end of the fight, oh my god, I switched over to the grenade and the door key, so I can do this. L1R1 quickly and go. Go south here and approach the ladder from the right. And then as a beginner, I just say grab everything you can. Grab the extra ration, grab the extra stinger ammo, even grab the chaff if you want. It's fine. As long as you feel comfortable, it's all good. With all that, you definitely have enough firepower to take down Wolf. Easy peasy. Now, I made a little tutorial to explain how grenade turret works. Basically, if you time it right, you can throw grenades directly at the turrets and explode right there, and you don't need any chaffs. We're here in technically all bosses with Glitchless, and we have equipped the Nikita. so we can use the Nikita to deal with Raven. You can also do a version, especially on easy, where we take care of Raven with the grenades. So, since we grabbed the chaffs anyway, I have enough. This time I'm not going to show you how to grenade the turrets. The video is available, of course, on the wiki. We're just going to use the chaffs now to go down here and keeping it simple. When going down, that's the cool thing, just hold down and left on the D-pad. It's the easiest way to be consistent and not wasting any movement and time with that. Again, throw every 2 corners after the turret, of course, the chaff. There you go. And then you don't need to worry at all. Okay, there we go. Because I delayed a little bit, I was almost afraid I didn't get the timing. Walk to the right of these boxes and go to the elevator. Next up is the 4 Horsemen fight. Press the elevator button first before grabbing the ration that's behind these boxes. You need to wait anyway, so don't waste time going down and grab the ration first. Get the elevator first. Now, the 4 Horsemen, easiest done is just choking them all out. So you go down to the first floor, have the interaction, and then ideally, we're gonna just choke all these guards. We're gonna do one quick save here.
Too late, Snake. Now die.
Unequip the grenade that you have. You can throw these guards and start choking on the first one that comes in. Make sure that you equip the grenades and unequip it again to get away faster from these guys. Ah, and I almost got them damageless. This guide is based on what 𝐸𝐼𝐶man did. 𝐸𝐸𝐼𝐶man was a person that loved to do extreme speedruns on extreme difficulty. Sorry, speedruns on extreme difficulty and trying to challenge the sick percent. Having always a cigarette in your mouth, so your health is always super low and you basically cannot allow it to take damage. That version of the fight, I'm just going to show it one last time. Basically has you throw all these guys and the first one that stands up gets choked. You know, that way you always have time. Let me do not get damaged. I'm doing a bad job here. Technically, the last guy you don't need to throw. There you go, just need to choke him off. So you can do this fight damageless, as I did here. You can also just go towards them, choke them out, take the damage. It's easy difficulty, doesn't matter too much. But yeah, that's the 4 Horsemen. Not much to say. Throw a chaff here, grab another one here because we need more later. So we don't get shot from these turrets, and then we move on to the wolf. The wolf fight. Yeah, it's something. She can be very annoying, as you will see in just a few moments. Just go for the door here. And since this is glitchless, I'm just gonna walk straight in there. Technically, it's not a glitch to lean into the cutscene to skip being shot here. You can do that technically. Once again, tutorial on my channel. But since you want to get a distance anyway towards wolf, because every time when you lie down with the PSG1, you slowly go a little bit forward. Keeping your distance from the death barrier that is there in this fight actually is key. I'm going to go back a little bit more. And then the first thing I'm going to do here, besides making a save state to explain stuff for you, go into the stinger, find Wolf 2. She's on the left. Perfect. Start. Oh god, just start with the stinger. Ideally, you know, you have locked onto here. After the first shot from the stinger, might be worth it to go to PSG1. In this first instance of this fight, I'm trying to only use the stinger. Because it's even more important to understand how Wolf is walking. Wolf has basically on the left side 3 trees that she can hide behind and 2 sniping spots. On the right side, she has... Oh god. Oh god, I can't get this lock on. There you go. On the right side, there's 1 sniping spot and 4 trees, basically. And it's important to understand, especially when she's walking left and right, what should you do next? Should you go into the sniper, or should you follow her with the stinger? It can also happen that she's so quick... Damn it, I wasn't even locked on. That she's so quick lying down and faking yard that you waste ammo on her. That's the most annoying part. If she's in the center like this, you cannot hit her at all. You can just try to follow her and get the lock on. And as soon as you see that she's keeping, like, going to the left, further than like 60%, there's like 2 dark spots. I try to show it here with the mouse. There's like 2 dark spots here in the snow from where you are. If she's walking past that, going here, you know she will be in one of her 2 sniper spots. She will go sniper spot left, sniper spot right, and usually walk behind the tree. One of the 3 trees that are to the left. If you're in the stinger view, it's actually worth it. She goes all the way to the left to lock onto her, and then early enough before she walks even past this dark spot here to set off the stinger. Because by the time the stinger arrives at Wolf 2, she will be just crouching down but not shooting you. This fight gets very complex very quickly. There's so many aspects to it, I can only scratch the surface right now. If you want to learn more, once again, sorry that I can't put it all in here, but I definitely recommend, if you want to dive deeper, go on the wiki, way more material there as well. But yeah, as I said, after the left spot, she will be on the right spot and then goes behind the tree, which be on the left. Usually, she'll be keeping going to the left like this, all the way to the left tree, and if she's annoying, she's getting away before you can set off the shot. Oh well. One last stinger and then she's done. So this is how the fight looks like if you just use stingers. It's really based on decision making, luck, and especially Wolf, be nice. So luck. This fight is very annoying. I'm gonna show you one more time using the PSG-1. I really think in the beginning especially, just get the stinger out first, follow her around, get a feeling where she's walking. You can see it here, for example, I was out of luck. Now she's walking all the way to the right. There's even numbers to these spots and everything, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. I needed forever to sort of master this fight at all. Just walking to the left. I'm purposefully not using the PSG-1 right now because going down there in the animation takes a little bit of time. And as you can see, she's once again walking over to the right. It's gonna wait until she's in a sniping spot like this, which I know she will be. And I couldn't hit her like this. So yeah. If we are in the sniper and try to go back to the stinger, you can see no use. You can go on top of it. You need to press X and then you can go down there. You cannot immediately go into the sniper like we can with PSG-1. You can try to snipe her like that when she's walking, but it's tough. Especially as a beginner, that's why I'm saying try to work with the stinger. She's in the other sniper spot and I can't hit her like this. That's the other issue of, you know, using the sniper here. Like, especially if you're swinging around all the time. I just use the stinger, it's fine. Nobody will judge you. The fastest way, especially as a beginner, use the stinger. It's absolutely worth it. I'm betting now she continues on to the right side, so I'm going back to the sniper. And she went left, so yep. Luck was not on my side. And that's why I constantly have to go back in between these 2 weapons if I try to be a little bit more optimized. There we go, finally we got a moving shot on her. So yeah, that's Wolf 2, that's all I can tell you about this fight. Especially as a beginner, worry less, use the stinger more, and then slowly, bit by bit, as you know, like where she's moving, what's the next possible position, get into the PSG-1 early and try to shoot her on the way there. That's all. I wish I had more to tell you right now, but that's basically what this fight is. Alright, we're almost done with this 2. One last thing that we can do here. You saw that I was holding left and square and X, so we skip the cutscenes and start walking immediately. A little bit of a speed tech again. If we were to hold X, we were going prone or crouching, and then you just stand up again. Holding left, X and square. Let's just walk left as soon as possible. So, I'm lazy, I'm gonna tank the damage here, it's fine. You can also crouch and you know, go underneath this box. And it's time to change the disk here. Thankfully, the emulator is super quick, so we're not losing any time. Now, blast furnace. Tricky room, you'd think, but there's a trick. We got the stuns on our side. Okay? That one stun that we have, we're gonna use right now, and we're gonna throw it basically outside the door. Ideally, if we time it right, and if I do it correctly, the stun will pop, the guards will fall over. We're gonna use that moment to equip the Nikita and shoot off that crane. Yeah, that annoying crane. Without getting an alert. If we get an alert, that's fine. There will be a guard coming up to the opposite side where we need to, you know, shuffle over. But, you know, ideally we don't get one and we can just move on as fast as possible. If you were doing this in any percent, you wouldn't grab the Nikita necessarily. You wouldn't need to do this with the grenade. Once again, Glitchless coming in here, being super easy with the Nikita. It's just a little bit of time. So, let's go through it. Equip the stun. Throw it like this, so it stays outside. I'm going through this corner here. Nikita. I'm actually using first person this time here. And boom. There you go. Taking care of it. And as we can see, we got no alert. There's no guard here waiting for us. And we can just shuffle over without any issues. If the alert would have come in, and the guard would have been here on the top, we would need to delay just a little bit. But that will be fine. And once we get over here, make sure again to have a weapon in your hand that makes you walk faster. And you move on. It's actually beneficial here to get another alert. Just so we have 11 later. When we go out here, we don't go to the elevator, we go down first. And then go back out again. Moving rooms twice like this has the elevator come in right away. Alright. And next up is already the elevator fight. I have to say, I'm not good at it. I'm a PC player usually. Do this with the glitch, but if you do it like this, it should look like this. I almost did it without any damage. See, I almost did it perfect, but I ended up missing the last guard. But yeah, what just happened? Let's go through it one more time. So, we're 3 guards here, left, and bottom right. Or top left, bottom right. And we need to take care of them. How do we do this? Once again, we're holding X and square to start walking right away. We go up for a short moment, then turn around, go down, and throw the first guard. After we throw the first guard, R1 to equip the grenade again. And then we're making our way straight up diagonal to the top left guard. The guards usually don't hit us like that, if the line is clean. And then once we reach the top, unequip the grenade, throw the guard over the railing, re-equip the grenade, walk like a curve down to the bottom left guard, throw that one over the railing, and we're good to go. Almost made that work perfectly. You get the idea, basically. It takes a little bit of practice, but this is like the nice version. You can also tank this. I'm going to show this version like this. Because these guards are easy to deal with. That's just the fast version, you know? So alternatively, you go like this. That's fine. Take care of this one like this. Yep. Just a little bit too slow. If you throw his guard, it's fine. Walk up to him and choke him out. It'd still be fast enough. Like I said, beginner's guide, especially about this fight, don't worry too much. Just get it done with. Gonna show once again, hopefully clean this time. The fast version. Slow down the video if you need. See, I walked too far there. Okay, I got shot, but at least I did the motions. Now, is this so much faster than what I did second try? Yeah, a little bit. Is it worth practicing? Absolutely. If you do it without taking any damage, even better. Right, and then moving on, we're on our way to Raven. You can ignore this turret basically, unless he directly shoots you. If you go down diagonal that line, it's very rare that he shoots you actually. This turret will always be different. It will be based on your frame time. Basically, it turns the moment you start the game. because the angle that it takes is based on the game time. I mean, if you always like the task, you can always deal with it the same way, but being human means we're a little bit faster, a little bit slower, you know. So that turret will be just where it will be. Right, going on the elevator, we have one call arriving soon. We're gonna hydrate a little bit. And there we go. At this point, luckily, we have 5 rations. And that's perfect for us. That allows us to do both versions of Raven. Raven fight, I don't know how you think it will be, but can be nice. We're gonna do something which looks like a glitch, but technically isn't a glitch. So, we have 8 grenades here. I'm gonna show you first the grenade strat. So, before you start this fight, I went to the right. If you're short on rations, there's one more ration to the right. There's also the killer ammo. And then if you want to do the grenade way, it's like this. Get out the cart, have the door open, then go to the ration before the fight starts even. Makes it way easier. Once we go through the door, hold top left, X and square to start cooking that grenade, and then throw it at him. And then basically, we want to be constantly being punched down by Raven. And every time we do that, we have a grenade on the hand that we'll let go. We will be in iframes, not taking much damage, but the grenade will explode and give Raven a lot of damage. Plus, we have rations on us, and ideally on easy difficulty, we only use a maximum of 2 rations. At this point right now, we have 5, so we should be way better and good enough. So, I'm making sure I have a save state here. Version 1 of Raven, the grenade strat. It's the same one we also use in any percent. There we go. Start cooking. Just hold up left. Let go. And there we go. As we stand up, hold square again, so we get punched down. Every time I get punched down, we're in the iframes and the grenade explodes afterwards. Make sure if you get punched away like this, we're walking towards him again. And that way, with just 2 rations, we can get rid of him. Unfortunately, as you can see, I needed 1 more grenade, so what we can do now, use anything else that we have. Just make sure that we're quick. There we go, we can use the 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿. That's what I said about Tower B going down back again. If we don't intend to use the grenades at Raven, we can use the grenades at the Tower B to get rid of the turrets. If we have the chance, we don't need that. We can use the grenade version here at Raven. It depends on what you prefer, really. For Glitchless, we have both weapons available. So this is how the grenade strat works. I'm going to explain to you the basics of the 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿 version. I'm not that good at it. The principle is that we're going to use a trick with Raven, where when he shoots with his big LMG, the first few bullets of his gun will not have hitboxes. So in that time, we can set off a 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿 and explode at him and use it over and over again. So, I'm gonna move here. I can basically not need anything. We don't need the ration at this point, so we wouldn't go over there because we're gonna be standing around the corner for him. So, let's go and do the 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿 version. I'm gonna hold X and R2 to first frame switch to 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿. Like this, be around the corner and then set off that first 𝐾𝐤𝐬𝐿. You gotta make sure that you quick equip. So R2 twice after the explosion hits and then set off the next one. So R1, R1 and square. Basically for short one where it goes forward, just hold left and then let it go. And Raven will be just in position here. If your timing isn't right, it's fine, it's not that tight, but if you're too slow, you need to do this quick re-equip and unequip. Unequip and re-equip, then he will not walk away. If you're too slow, if you don't do this unequip and re-equip thing, he will start walking around again. This is the version of the fight that we actually do all the way up even to extreme, because we don't need to tank any damage. I mean, the higher the difficulty, the less rations we have even. So normal we have 4, hard we have 2 I think, and extreme we have only 1. right? So we cannot tank the damage there. That's what we need to use the Nikita version. Hey Rainbow, how's it going? But yeah, that's Raven. It's really a pushover of a fight. It's not that difficult. When we leave the warehouse here, make sure to be on chef. And then hold square when we go through. So we can immediately start cooking. And then once we go up here, the chef will be in effect and the turrets can hit us. I usually grab the Stinger ammo here. On easy difficulty for Rex. Later. We need 12 shots. 6 in the first half. And 6 in the second one. But that's it. Now, we'll be actually having a very cool time now. Because in this moment here in the tutorial, there's not much else to do. We're just gonna play through the game as normal. Of course, there's a few more things I need to explain, but for a little while, like I think 14 minutes, whoops, we'll actually have not much to explain because there's no more bosses. This is the beginning of the PAL sequence. So, in this PAL sequence, first off here, we need to endure 3 calls from Modcon. It's all fine and dandy. Now we gotta go in here. Go up. In the center is the 3rd call. Really not much to worry about. Ideally, you press select as soon as the call comes in and then turbo through. Just waiting. And there we go. And now, at this moment, this is where we are going to make use of all the alerts that we farmed right in the beginning. I'm gonna go to the Sokomia running gun, shoot down the guard after we hit the second path to the side here, and go through. Before we take the ladders going down again to the ground floor, the game decides, do we have 11 or more alerts? Because then, the rat that would usually appear to eat the PAL key would not appear. This is why we found the alerts in the beginning, because over the course of the game we get so many more alerts, and there's no big boss anyway on easy. Big boss is only in extreme, right? If we have 11 or more alerts, the rat that would normally eat the PAL key down there will not appear, and we just need to walk down there. We're gonna walk a certain line, where we will touch basically all 7 lines where the PAL key could be, and hopefully, very early on, in a very fast position, we just grab the PAL key again, instead of chasing after the rat. Hey Mello. So, at this point here, go for the cutscene, and I'm gonna actually quick save here. So, if we have enough alerts, X and square here, hold down left, quick equip a gun, walk left, and ideally you don't get touched there. You're just gonna wait. It's like one of those moments where you want to show something cool and then of course it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. That's what I meant. Ideally you get through here without taking any damage. Now, here's one more thing. If you're not sure if you have enough alerts, there's one trick that I can tell you. After this interaction here, you go back in the command room. Just hold down. Go back in. Because this room transition adds another +1 to your alerts. And leaving this one adds another +1. So if you think you're short by 1 or 2 alerts, just do this. Transition the room twice and you get, just once actually, you leave the room and go back out again. You have +2 on your alerts, and that should be all the alerts you need. If you have 6 in the beginning, there's 4 mandatory ones throughout the run. If you think you're short because you missed one or something, you played too well, can happen, go into that room once, go back out, you have +2, you have all the alerts you need as a backup. On PC and emulator, we have a community-made auto-splitter, which also can read out internal values and can actually tell us precisely how many alerts we have. I have a full 30-minute tutorial how to set it up all in detail on my YouTube channel. Once again, so much more to it. As a beginner, make sure you have 6 alerts in the docks. Throughout the rest of the run, you should get enough. And if you, if you're still unsure, use this one trick to get +2 on your alert count. And you're good to go. Now, we go down back all the way, and then we're gonna grab the PAL key. Easy peasy. Make sure to basically stick here to the walls, not waste any movement. And there. Whoopsie. I can definitely tell I'm not used to speaking for that much, for that long. The way you explain it sounds pretty easy. I mean, to be fair, it is easy. Right? It is easy. And that's why I hope I can make clear with a beginner's guide for speedrunning MGS 1. Everyone can do it. It's maybe a little bit much to, memorize at first, but it's fine. Right, so again, once we go down this ladder, the game makes the decision. Does the rat eat the PAL key or not? When we go down there, right? So get all the alerts you need. We walk down here, and I'm gonna show you the line. First position, right underneath here. Unfortunate that this is right now the bomb. Underneath this bridge, PAL position 6. This is the one that's the best for us. If the bomb's here, it's basically the worst, because we need to get rid of the bomb. Good thing is, we don't need to get rid of the bomb right away. Okay? We can leave the bomb in our inventory until we find the PAL key. This bridge is also the decider where we need to go. We always go left first, because on the left side of this bridge, there's 6 positions. 5 plus 1. And then there's 1 position all the way to the right. If we get the one all the way to the right, yeah, that's unfortunate. Very bad luck, costs us quite some time. But on average, there's 4 PAL positions right here near the bridge. The first one, right south here, a little bit like where you can see the text right now. This is where the first is. Then go up left. Make sure to cross that border and don't go all the way up here. If you go all the way up at that wall and go to the left down, it can be that you miss PAL position 4. The one where I am right now is number 5. Now, this is position number 4. Bridge up left. Hold down left to go. It's perfect that there's always something there. To PAL position number 3. From that on, go up left. Whoops. There you go. There we go. That was the PAL key. This is PAL position number 2. There's only one more that's all the way at the top. We're gonna go there just to show it to you. Right there, that is PAL position number 1. If we have the bomb before the PAL key, this is the position latest where we need to throw the bomb. You can see right now with the timer, 2 seconds. Kinda tricky. At the position where we were, PAL position 2. We menu here to the timer, and then menu to the PAL key. That way, we throw away the bomb, and can then with R1 and L1 re-equip all the stuff that we had before. A little bit of optimization, but totally worth it, trust me guys. And then, if we were on PAL position 1 like we are, we take the top left route. If we are 2 or closer to the bridge, we walk all the way down and right again. I'm going to try to die now, because I'm going to show it one more time in full motion to you, right? Once again, this line, very easy to learn. I'm going to walk it down all the way, even if I get PAL on bomb, doesn't matter. Go down here, underneath the bridge. Up left, even better. Down left. Go up here in the center. And if we haven't found here, it's only up there or it's position 7. It would be roughly here where we saw the ration. If the packet would be here and we have a bomb, get rid of the bomb here and equip the ration. And we will go all the way to the right. If the PAL key still isn't there, we have to take the walk all the way back again. Now we got the PAL key luckily, we don't need to do that, but just to show you where it would be, go south, go east, go north, and this is where the last PAL position 7 is. If your key is there, that's unfortunate. Again, on average, it is one of the 4 positions very close to the bridge and saving you a lot of time. In the second chance, we actually got a very good one. We got the God Bomb, but PAL position number 5, so ideally this would be only 4 seconds maybe that we lost here compared to having God PAL and just leaving. Alright, now that we have the PAL key, let's just go back up again. Because now the sequence of entrance begins where we insert all the PAL key versions. First one, of course, normal. And again, I can only say one more time, make sure to get all the alerts. On emulator and on PC, the auto splitter tells us exactly how many alerts we have. If you play this game on console without any insight, you have to basically just count by hand. It's fine though. You don't need the many, and I've shown you how you get easily +2 without much time loss. After this point, by the way, it doesn't matter anymore if you get alerts or not, like it's whatever. The alerts are only important before. Now, if you deliver the car like this, you will get an alert, but if you have the PAL key on you, the trigger for the next step will automatically override the alert. Now, after you had this sequence play out, skip the cutscene by holding X and hold L2 to do the Tony strat, found by Solid Tony. A little bit of optimization. Once again, we buffer here. We skip the cutscene by holding X and then hold L2. Can let go of X. Press up once to go in the door key because we need this one next. Then just hold left here and go out. If we alert happens, we stand still for a moment. There's a trick that you can do where you align yourself with these chairs, called chair trick, and then you will not get this alert and will not be stopped. I can show you this, hopefully with the cold key. It's much easier on the cold one, but yeah. Again, extended material is on the wiki. I'm gonna leave this out for the extended guide for now. Just make sure you go all the way left. Take the 1 second time loss of being, frozen for a moment. It's fine, doesn't matter, and move on. Now we go back all the way to the warehouse where we can freeze the PAL key. So yeah, let's just do that. Once again, the PAL key sequence, once we get there, everything's easy. We can really relax. There's not much to say, not much to explain. Make sure, that's what I will suggest, make sure that you go back to the chaff. So we've been here on the SOCOM because the SOCOM for me is very easy to get rid of the guard. You can also be on the chaff here. And because we go through the warehouse and then through Warehouse North with all these turrets, I would recommend be on the chaff. Because we're going to do the same thing that we did after Raiden. Just hold right here and then go down this bridge on the right half. That way the turrets will not hit you at all. It's not worth it using a chaff here. The chaff will pop and you will already be past this section. Now we are here in the warehouse. I don't have a timer. If you're running live split, be it with the auto splitter or manual, usually when we enter this room, we make a new split and just look at the detailed timer to see for how much time we are in this segment. Oh, I don't have a timer, but I can listen to the music. So with the music cue, I can tell you exactly how long I need to wait. We need to wait 61 seconds minimum. Since we're not perfectly sure here, we need to wait a little bit longer. The music here in the warehouse is not that ideal. It will go down, high, and then down again. Listen in. Down. As the strings come in. Now. That's when we know 61 seconds have passed. In the beginning, hey, just check it. Make sure it is blue. Totally fine. Because you know what? If you leave the room too early and it didn't change beforehand, all that progress and change in the PAL key will be lost. If you go out at 60 seconds, the PAL key hasn't changed, you need to go back into the warehouse again and wait for another 61 seconds. Especially as a beginner, if you use just a tap, like a timer on your phone, for example, I mean, wait 1 minute and 3 seconds just to be sure, right? You can even check manually, just go in PAL key, go back to the door key, and then get out. Once again, when leaving the room, hold down square to start cooking that chaff right away. So it will be popping as soon as we get here on the bridge. But yeah, once again, for warehouse, the music cue is low note, high note, low note, as soon as the strings come in. Or, 1 minute, 1 second plus whatever you need to feel comfortable. And I mean, especially in the beginning, just check the PAL key beforehand, right? You don't want to go back up just to find out that the PAL key hasn't changed. That is time loss that just hurts. And I maybe have done that just a few weeks ago. Anyway, I'm not going to change over to the SOCOM. I'm going to show you how to silence your footsteps by unequipping and re-equipping your grenade. Technically, not a glitch. You basically just overlay 2 sounds and it will silence your footsteps. If you do it like this, the guard can't hear and see you. Well, you can't hear, you can't see you technically. That way you can sneak past him and you're good to go. Now, I did a mistake here. I didn't change to the PAL key beforehand. So, I cannot go top right anymore. I would be too slow. I have to go bottom right here. Move like this. It's fine. You could have walked the same way in the top corner and go around. The blue key can be inserted while the alert comes in. The trigger will still hit before the alert actually is there. Once again, L2 and X. Door key. And now hopefully get this door chat trick right. Hold left, go a little bit up, and then you should go out of here without getting an alert. Well, didn't work. Again, this is more advanced stuff to save 1 second. You can literally just hold up. Silence your footsteps again on this square, and the guard will not notice you. It's really just this one tile where you need to do that. Technically, having a weapon in your hand and running is fast. If you constantly unequip and re-equip, that silences your footsteps, but it also will have you walk a little bit slower. It's a tiny bit slower. So you really want to use this trick only where you need it. But yeah, again, technically it's not in the rules, so this does not count as a glitch. I personally think it's not really in the spirit of glitchless. So I would always switch over to the SOCOM, but I mean, rules are rules, so you know now how to deal with this guard. Either shoot him with the SOCOM, you can shoot him with the sniper, with the stinger, it doesn't matter. Or you silence the footsteps with the chaff like this. Right? Now we're gonna walk all the way back again here. This game is very linear, I don't need to explain much how to walk here. Once again, stick to the right half of this bridge to not get shot by the turrets. And then we walk all the way back to the blast furnace where we came from. Like it's a very linear matter. In warehouse here, second time there will be guards, walk to the left, and then down here. When we come back, walk to the right side of these boxes. Like, there's really not much to say about that. Alright. Oh. We're almost done. There's only the Rex fight and the Liquid fight. And the escape. Okay, sure. The escape as well. When we are on this elevator, when we press the button at this elevator, our weapon will be taken away. Make sure to equip it again with just R1. Why? When we leave that elevator, we can start walking, but we cannot equip a weapon right away. If we equip the weapon while we're on this elevator, we can immediately start running with a weapon in our hand a little bit faster. It's the many small things you can do. Squeeze out a little bit more time. So yeah, just go through the routine. There's really not much to say about that. I'm almost glad, I have to say. Like, my voice definitely, it can tell that it's being used right now. Alright, as you can see here, weapons in my hands. I can move on. Even if you take this very diagonal line, the turret cannot hit us. It is very lenient. You can walk even closer to the wall like this to not get hit, but when you go up that elevator, right, and the turret shoots you, it will be in a position where if you just walk around to it, it won't get after you fast enough. Second elevator, once again, we press the button, weapon gets taken away, equip it while we're on this ride, and then we get off this elevator, hold down to start walking immediately. Now, blast furnace. Again, I don't have a timer. I don't need it really. Blast furnace is a room where you don't want to walk around much. A quick thing that I can explain for you. There is stinger ammo here in the bottom south. Like, let me see. There. Right where the turrets are and the boxes are. I think there's also body armor. And you can go there. You have to go through this load zone, right? The problem is this load zone has the IGT continue, but not the PAL key timer. So you need to wait a little bit longer before leaving this room if you go and grab this extra ammo. Do you need it? No, absolutely not. I'll tell you why. Only if you're on extreme difficulty do we need that much ammo. We can grab 20 Stinger ammo, 2 times the warehouse north, and 2 boxes in the warehouse itself for 20 shots, plus whatever we have left after Wolf 2. This is more than enough. If you're not on extreme and you go through this door, you waste time. Speaking of time, here's the music cue. When the strings go like ee, when it sounds a little bit out of tune. It's hard to explain, right? We have this wee. It's not the same note as before. You can definitely hear like, oh yeah, okay. That's the point where the music goes, oh yeah, sure. 61 seconds have passed. Once again, as a beginner, I do not blame you if you take a quick look if it's right. And that's the music cue. Okay, if you use a auto splitter on PC or on emulator, you can definitely tell when you have this 1 minute, 1 second. If you do it manually, I mean, you can still, you know, look at your life split by hand. You can make a split, like a new segment split when you enter that room. It's also fine. But the easiest way you can tell on console/emulator is just listen to the music. On PC, the PC version ships with wrong music, basically, because the developers didn't have access to the actual music. There's a fan patch there, works a little bit better. Make sure that you have that. By the way, here you could see that I didn't equip the weapon while I was on the elevator. So when I got off the elevator, I had to take a few steps without a weapon in my hand. Like, that's much time loss. What is time loss? And I want you to do the things right away, correctly. Alright, now this time, equip the weapon, await the call, turbo through it, and then we're gonna go straight to the Rex fight. And then we're almost done. Can we hit sub 2 hours for this tutorial? Sub 4 hours? I don't think so, but we're almost done. There it is. What the hell, Naomi? You can do glitchless odds on PC. It is way faster. I assume you can do glitchless faster by like almost 20 minutes. My personal best in glitchless PC is 1 hour, 7 minutes and something. And my personal best on emulator/console glitchless is 1 hour, 28 right now. I know I need to practice a lot more. You can definitely tell that a few things I'm not, you know, a real pro on. I know it good enough, but you could also tell while I was teaching you 1 or 2 seconds, like, I wasn't 100% sure then. That's fine. I estimate, like, with the current world record holder of almost all the categories in MGS1, glitchless console can go down to roughly 124, maybe a bit more, so there's a little bit of leeway. But PC version, I'm using this time to explain, PC version here really is faster, just because codecs can be closed immediately. We don't need to wait for them. Cutscenes are skipped much faster, and everything loads also much faster. And over the course of the entire game playthrough, it makes a lot of difference. So yeah, that's where the PC version is drastically faster than the console version. I'm gonna grab these stairs. I would recommend you do the same as a beginner. Once again, we need 12, right? It can be that we get out of the Hind fight and out of Wolf 2 with already 12, if we don't use them. But we can grab basically 10 for free in the warehouse without any time loss, because we need to wait anyway. We grab 2 more boxes in warehouse now with little time loss. If we were not to grab them, it's not that much of a big deal. And on the other side, if we grab them, not much of a time loss. So 20 plus whatever you have left, more than enough on easy. And I want to show you how easy really is. Because so many people do the Rex fight, they walk around, they do stuff like, telling you, man, there's no need for that. Alright, once again, gonna equip the power key here before I enter the commander room. Using this little trick, I guess, if it's not a glitch, it's a trick then, to quickly re-equip and unequip and re-equip the chaff to silence my footsteps. And make sure, for the hard power key, you have to walk south. Normal and cold, you can walk top. The alert will not come in. If you try to go through the right laptop with the hard power key, the alert will hit before the trigger goes in. So for the third time, you have to walk south. But yeah, there we are. Now, Master Miller will reveal actually for us that he's liquid. Fair enough. And we have to call out a gun. Now, from a menu standpoint, if we were to do any percent, we open the codec, go down right. If we do all bosses, we go down twice. We have glitchless, we need to call Meryl, we have to go down twice and right to call out a gun. So select, down, right, and then circle, and then just turbo with X out of it. You can even close the codec with X. If you go to first person here, you see much better and faster if the camera changes to answer the codec a little bit earlier. You don't have to. Shoutouts to Apache Smash for finding that godly time safe. And now it's time for the Rex fight.
Liquid.
Gonna. I knew I didn't make a quick save. Boom. I love this cutscene. In this fight, hold X and square to start walking forward. You walk to this line. There's this line. You can see it. This line. Walk here. Do it again. It's not much. You can tell without looking first person. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Grab your chaff. As soon as the Rex starts moving, throw the chaff. This only works on easy. That was maybe a little bit too early, but it's fine. And you can see we have 27 stingers. We have more than enough. We could fight 2 Rexes at once. Once we go into the stinger, it's important to know when you start shooting. If you're in this position, aim like this. You do not need to be perfectly centered on the radome. You can be even a little bit to the left. That is fine. You start setting off the first shot when Rex does this yell. I don't know how machines do it. They do it. Don't ask questions. This Metal Gear Solid. It gets weirder later down the road. But yeah, as soon as you hear this, that's your prompt to start shooting the stinger. And if you listen close, every time you do the stinger, there's an explosion and it's a little ka-chuck, like a machine click, like ka-chuck. If you listen close, I think on PC you can hear it easier than on emulator. Especially on PC, you can lower the music volume. You can't do that on emulator. But this ka-chuck is definitely your audio cue to set off the next stinger. Alternatively, visually, if the screen stops shaking, that's also when you know you can set off the next stinger. We're going to do it slow the first time to show you these cues. And then I'm going to do it once fast to show you how it should look like. And hopefully it looks good. There's the screen. That's where the screen stops shaking. And that's when you can tell I was throwing the chaff a little bit too early. Because normally on easy, the chaff can last for the entire first phase. I'll do it one more time. And that's the first phase. You don't need to do anything. Tank the damage, man. There we go. As soon as it starts moving, throw the chaff. Hear the scream. There. 0 damage on easy. People are fast to move around, do stuff. Walk forward. If you're close to the Rex, he will always do 2 types of attacks. Even on normal, hard, and extreme, if you're close to him, he will shoot down with his turrets and miss you, because he misses always if you're close, and then he uses his laser swipe. The laser swipe we can get around with an advanced technique, going first person and pressing L1 or R1 to lean to the side. The second half, we also get close like this. We want to be at least inside the circle, better yet even in this, what is it? 10-sided? It's not really a square, like in the dark spot. Okay, you want to be in this dark spot, and then once again press R1 to be directly back in the stinger. This time we will tank the damage. This time, you know, we can't use a chaff because, you know, Rex is open. Just go ahead at it. And I was a little bit too far. Yeah, I was a little bit too close there. So yeah, if you're like this, you shouldn't stand around there. So once again, not ideal. I'm going to show you the first phase one more time, and then I'm going to do a save state at the second phase. But you should be getting the basics of it now. Walk to this dark line, throw the chaff as he moves, and then use the audio cue to begin. Quick check. There we go, 0 damage. Okay, now I'm gonna make a save state before we go in phase 2, so I can explain it a little bit better. But yeah, the first phase, joke, on easy. Don't worry. Why are you moving? What are you doing? Throw the chaff that you have, even if you don't have a chaff, right? If you don't have a chaff, put on a ration. You have more than enough. Tank the goddamn damage. It's so easy. Now you know. Now you can do better. It will finally end. Alright, so I'm gonna start this fight again by holding up left and X and square, so I can walk right away. There's another version where you start first shooting and then walk forward. I think this version is easier. Up left, square and X, walk forward, go into the dark spot, and then press R1 and start shooting. I'm way too close. As you can see, I'm not doing that much damage. This is the kind of damage I want to do. And you can see I only gain damage when the laser comes out, not when the turrets shoot. I don't even need a ration. I don't need to, you know, I don't need to heal myself. Right? On easy difficulty. It's fine. Whoops, I missed that. Okay, that bad example. Start again. One last time in motion here. Good. Also, if you're this close, ideally you should only swing like middle and close distance, not far back. As we can see, you don't need to align yourself really, you don't even need the red boxes. Just make sure that it sends off as it works. That's Rex. Like even on normal difficulty, this works. Only difference, normal difficulty and higher, the chaff does not stun the Rex. You will be attacked, but it's fine. Easy difficulty first phase, throw the chaff, and then just do the first phase as I showed you. Second phase, walk close, and just tank the damage and move on. If you don't miss it all, you don't even need a ration. So yeah. Let's continue with the liquefy. Now the liquefy is the most complex one, it's the one that will cost, especially beginners, the most time. That's fine. Okay. I will try to explain the basics of the liquefy. I will try to explain the 3 phases. At the end of it, if you want to do what I will do with the infinite liquid punch sequence, that takes dedication and practice. Don't worry if you don't get it right away. I'll try to explain as best as I can, and we'll see what happens. This one cutscene that I just skipped here, by the way, that's the one you can only skip in the integral version, and all the other releases you need to endure it. Takes a few minutes, it's fine, but ideally that's why we play on the Japanese integral re-release version of Metal Gear Solid 1. Now we have 30 seconds to wait.
You cross this line.
I'm gonna hydrate.
At this height, it will kill even you.
Alright. I will make a save state at 35 usually, so we have a little bit of time.
How about you, Snake?
So, Liquid, right? Liquid is a guy who has 3 phases. First phase, run away from you. Literally, he will actually actively try to avoid you and sometimes attacks, but he's really out like, ha, teasing, I'm better than you. Second phase, annoying prick, starts attacking you slowly. Third phase, definitely starts to attack you and does his wall charge attack. That's all you need to know about that. First phase ends. I forgot the voice line actually. Forgive me, I don't know. There's the voice line. We'll go through this and I will tell you which one it is, which will indicate that we're in phase 2, and then there's also one for phase 3. Now, I'm gonna try to do the infinite liquid punch sequence first to show you how it can look ideally, and then gonna explain more on the way, right? But we stay some time here. We're gonna use this to get you slowly, bit by bit, up to how liquid works, what the differences are, and ideally how you can get a first hand on this infinite liquid sequence. So, first time, again, he won't do anything. He would just stand there like a menace. You couldn't even wait. As you can see, he was just like, what? Now I'm gonna walk forward and throw him once. And I'm gonna chase after him. And I was a little bit too slow. It's fine. And now I'm just gonna double punch him. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Now, this takes practice. The fact that I can still talk while doing this is amazing. You can see him slip a little bit to the side, right? Ideally, you set him up in a way so he will slip to the right side, which sadly didn't happen here. There's tricks how you can get him close to the edge right away. But yeah, that's basically how you want to do this. There's different versions. There's a version where you throw him 0 times. There's a version where you throw him once. There's multiple versions actually. And then there's a version where you throw him twice, as we've seen, right? Liquid Infinite basically is just set up 50% of the work, keeping the steady rhythm, the other 50% of the work. Now, as a beginner, I would definitely recommend focus on everything else. Liquid is basically meant to be, and I think this is also true for speedrunning, Liquid is like the final challenge. If you master Liquid, you won the game. Everything else after that will be so much easier. Liquid is also ideally the last big time save you should get, because everything else is complex enough. And yeah, that's it. So before we go more into Liquid Infinite stuff, I'm going to show you how a casual fight can look like where we don't infinite him. In the beginning, you can PPK him like this. Ideally, you'll get him. Because in the beginning, he won't fall down. Right? In the beginning, he will be just walking around. He doesn't even retaliate, really. Make sure if he's this all the way in the close corner, he will actually start evading you. Oops. Like this, for example. Like when he ducks, you cannot hit him. You can tell that I definitely didn't... There we go. You can definitely tell I didn't do the casual version in a long time. I don't know when he evades. Just infinite liquid in. Anyway, nice shot. Nice shot is the first indicator when you know, okay, we left first phase. He will stop evading us and he will start retaliating. So as you can see here, he even does his bull charge deck. For example, if you punch him, he comes back with a double punch. He still won't fall down like this. Even if you're close to the edge, he will not fall over the edge, which is good. So as a casual fight, you can still go, oh my god, around like this. Here's a trick. If he attacks you, you can basically just crouch. As you can tell now, we are in the third phase, because now in the third phase, when we kick him, he will actually fall over. Unfortunately, if he's not at close to zero, like 0 health, he will actually climb back up again. So that will waste more time. Ideally, if you're in the third phase, you will just double punch him and then walk away from him. Yeah, okay. In the third phase, you will also not just double punch, but also punch, punch, kick. So be aware of that. As you can see. Yeah. As you can see, when he attacks you, just crouch. He can't touch you. But yeah, this was roughly 1 minute 30 seconds. I didn't even try much, you know, but it worked. And my DS4 Windows currently freaks the fuck out because I wiggled the USB cable a little bit. I'm gonna detach it a little bit. Let me see if everything works. Yep, controller's connection. I'll be right back. Come on. There's my controller. Okay. Short intermission. Because I disconnected the controller, it assigned a new slot for him. So I need to quickly, my god, reassign the controller again. Ideally, you just have a wire controller that doesn't lose the connection. It's fine. Forgive me. We'll be right back. And then, there you go. That should be it. Doesn't work. There we go. We're back in action. All right. So, one last time, the casual version of Liquid, punch, punch, kick in the beginning, and then in the final phase, just double punch. And yeah, if it's in the far corner, he will actually try to avoid you. He cannot fall down though, so yeah. I'm not good at this casual. I'm so sorry. As you can tell. Oh my god. If you fall over the edge, press triangle to get up again. It's fine. We should be in the second phase now. There we go. Now he will retaliate. You can probably do this like this. Okay. Yeah, if you just double punch, he will retaliate. If you punch, punch, kick in phase 2, he will not retaliate. That's very interesting. Okay, ideally you wanna just do casual stuff like this for a short time. We should be in phase 3 now. Just dancing around me. There you go, this is phase 3 now. He will attack much more. If he does this bull charge, press X to crouch, he will not damage you anymore. Same as if you punch kicks you, crouch, you evade the damage. Oh my god, come on. And yeah, again, if you're in phase 3, don't kick him, just double punch him, because if you kick him, he will need to get back up again, takes longer time than just double punching. All the basics. As you can see right now, we're actually slower than what I tried last time. So, yeah. I think you understand now the basics. I will have text underneath me that explains the basics as well while we go at it. But again, 3 phases. First phase, he will run away from you. Get to know him a little bit, know in which corners he will completely evade you and which corners he will be open for attacks, and use PPKs. Second phase. Still use PPKs, but be aware he will retaliate. Maybe crouch if you want to avoid attacks. Third phase, stop PPKing him, just double punch him until it's low enough, and then either throw him over the border with a direction in square, or PPK him over the border as soon as his health is lower than the L. Now, enough of this. I'm going to show you like 3 major ways how you can set up the infinite liquid. And then after that, we're going to move on. So the first major version is the 2 throw. Very easy. Just hold left. And then get south of him. Here, go up and there. Go up left and throw him over to the right. After that, tap right once, so you turn straight right, not in the corner, like not in a turn. Just tap right, so you immediately turn right. Then hold right to get close to him, and as soon as he's done standing up, as soon as he's up, double punch him. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. There's a drum track that we have on speedrun.com that you can download to get familiar with it. It goes like... Each snare and drum together is a press of a circle. Once you understand that, once you get a little bit practice to it, it will actually flow rather naturally. And the more you play this fight, the more you will get at least slow, like small sequences of continuous double punches. And at some point, it just clicks, and you do this fight over and over again, and you get that infinite liquid. But yeah, Coming back here, second throw done. Not ideal, but it worked. Now, we're sliding to the left, not the right. So once we hit the L, I'm gonna crouch and then try to throw him over the edge. And that's the fight. Took me 30 seconds. Not ideal, but, you know, way faster than the casual version. I want to show you how one throw works. One throw, basically, you go down a little bit, like left down first, and then upright, and then once again, when he's standing up. This one is trickier. As you can see, I was just sliding past him, and that is because I wasn't high enough. So that's tricky. It's not that easy to set up. I'm going to try to show it one more time. Once again, go south a little bit first, and then left. And then, you know, initiate. There we go. We were on the right level. Once again, we're not sliding to the right. This is what makes this version a little bit inferior. So if this happens, X, and then throw in. Whoops. Like this. What? I didn't kill him. How did he keep me like this? What the fuck? Okay, this should have been better, you know. It is what it is. One last time, I'm gonna show you zero throw. Zero throw, you walk past him and then take a corner. And it's tricky because you need to switch between double punches and single punches. And single punches are so much harder to come back from. So, okay, I got to stop talking and doing the same thing. But the idea is you walk south of him and take a turn and meet him at the top right corner. At this point, he will not start walking down. He will go the other direction. And you need to double punch in. But this 0-4 setup will make it, I think, almost every time so that you will slide to the right with him. Because he doesn't walk down and slide up. You know, he will always slide to the right. Problem is, if you initiate like that, you usually need to follow up with him, like come closer to him with single punches. That's a little bit tricky. Double punches push both of you a little bit away, but double punches push Liquid faster away than you are following Liquid. Single punches, again, on the other side, have you follow Liquid at the same speed. And this is why we need to catch up with Liquid with single punches. One last time, and then we're going to move on because this is a beginner's guide. I just want to give you a little bit of an insight how this works, but other than that... Okay, this failed. As you can see, I was not right with the timing, but, you know, beginner's guide. So look out what you can do. More info will be linked in the description down below. Yeah, even I failed that. With the single punch and return back to double punch. Again, check it out in the video description down below. There's a great guide by Plywood. If you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch right now, it's not used for us. And yeah, again, MGSpeedrunners.com for more stuff like this. I personally like the 2-throw and the 1-throw. 0-throw, as you can see, I can do if I need to, but yeah, it's a way trickier. And especially if you're in a full game run, if you're really high on a good pace, and you're like, oh, I don't want to frog it up, I don't want to mess it up. You are more prone to do it. So yeah, as a beginner, get used to the 3 phases first. And then once you mastered everything else, and you feel like, yeah, Liquid is the final stage, then you're ready to learn the infinite combo. That's what I suggest. You can do it, of course, right away. I mean, up to you. Okay? But that's really it. I'm gonna go and just load the next save. I'm lazy. So imagine we just beat Liquid. And we're now here. This is the escape sequence. Escape sequence basically has 3 rations here. And honestly, on easy, you don't need any of them. There's only really one that's worth grabbing anyway, because all the others are out of your way and cost you time. So we do not go right here. We do not grab this one. We do not go left here, and we do not grab this one. Those are the bad ones. The only ration you want to grab, if you really think you cannot do it, is the one in the bottom left corner of this room. If you play this game casually and never use first person, I'm gonna blow your mind. Though first we need to waste. Thanks Otacon for ruining my pause. I need to go back one more time to show you what just happened there. I think there we go. So we go up here, we don't grab any of the rations. The only one we can grab is in the bottom left corner. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grab one of these guards and drag him towards the car. It's a little bit tricky, but the timing is easy to get. If you see Otacon walk to the left there, walk right. I should have walked a little bit earlier. Get up to him, press square, drag him over. As soon as Otacon starts his engine, choke him out. And then go over here. Hold down triangle and square and then move over to the left. You need to shoot the guard on the left. The guard on the right doesn't matter. The guard on the left, that's the important one. If you kill that guard, you can explode the barrels and you're good to go. Now, for the next checkpoint, checkpoint 1, look here. Checkpoint 1, we go from the right side to the left, and we try to align ourselves already, so we hit the first barrel right away. How do we do this? Very easy. We hold triangle and align ourselves with the corner of the car with our turret here. We hold down to align ourselves a little bit easier. And that's it. Basically for the entire escape sequence, hold triangle. If you do it in third person, way too difficult. Don't do that. There we go. After we hit this 2, align yourself with this part of the wall. Because for checkpoint 2, we have 3 guards, left, middle, and right. And we're going to shoot them in the order of left, right, and middle. The one in the middle is the first away from us, and he barely hits us at all, so we can take care of him the last. Stream's going Steven, hi. So once again, stay in first person, and then make sure. Checkpoint 2, you don't want to shoot, just continuously shoot. Checkpoint 2, you want to make sure you don't hit the guard on the right. If you hold down square the whole time, you hit all 3 of them at once. I mean, that's fine, but the problem is the right guard can walk even further to the right, and you need to turn around even more. It costs you some time, so don't shoot too early. Ideally, as soon as you see yourself turning around for checkpoint 2, and that's when you start shooting. So you only hit the middle and left guard. In this instance, I only hit the left guard, that's fine. As long as I don't hit accidentally the right guard too early. Because it's way better if he's there instead of there. But yeah. And coming up of the escape sequence, only really one more thing you need to do, and that is liquid. But, oops, that's the wrong load save. I just want to go over this quickly one last time, and then we move on and finish the game. That is not the ration. Go a little bit higher, there we go. So, once again, escape very quickly. Bottom left corner. Grab the ration if you want. You don't really need it. Not even on extreme, you don't need it. Swear to God. Grab the guard as soon as Otacon walks to the left. Go over there. Press square again to keep him choked. Choke him out when Otacon starts the engine. And then that's when I usually tab up and then half square and triangle home. You need to kill the left guard. You need to shoot the barrels. And then you move on. And I should remove the cursor here. I'm sorry. Way better. Checkpoint 1, you align yourself like this with the turret here. This is too far. This is too far. Cover up that corner. This one, hold square continuously. As soon as you see you're standing, move on, because the first barrel will already be shot. Look at this part of the wall. Let go of shooting button. Get ready for checkpoint 2. Because checkpoint 2, left, right, middle. That's the order you need to remember. Well, good shot there. 3 shots on these cards and they're down. I think 4. There we go. And there we go. Hey boy. Yeah, it's a guide. It's the beginner's guide for Glitchless. Hoping that more people will give this game a chance. Less glitches, more fun. And also less frustration. Alright, final fight. Liquid. He will constantly sway left and right if you try to look at him. How do we deal with him? Well, there's a short time where he will not go away, so hold down square the entire time, right? And then basically try to align yourself with him. Just when his iframes open up again, that's when you swing over him. Even if you already start swinging to the other side, that's fine. That's basically what you want to do. So let's initiate one more time. Hold down triangle. Waste a little bit of time and then swing on top of him as soon as his iframes open. If he looks at you with his farmers, that's when you can look at him. On easy, it takes 3 shots, then we will start transitioning over. 3 shots in the first phase, then we transition over to the second one. Ideally, we hit him twice in the transition here. I have to press on here again, I'm so sorry. Thanks for the reminder, folks. Now, phase 2 happens. We switch over, we're in the same line here. We hit him ideally twice. Why is that good? Very simple. If we shoot him 5 times before we're in this tunnel, we only need to shoot him twice in this tunnel. If we only shoot him 4 times before this tunnel, we need to shoot him 3 times here. At the end, 7 shots on him, we go out of here. So I did 5 here. Very good. Let him punch me. What you can do is you can hold down and align yourself like this if it's easier for you. I don't think it's easier. 2 shots, as I said, and we're out. Back in this stage of the fight. 2 shots on him, and then he will transition over. Get ready, you will be diagonal from him. And ideally you get like this. In the sequence, just look like this. You should be hitting him. And then before the final phase, stop shooting. It's easier to hit him, apparently, in this final phase, if you don't constantly shoot him. And there we go. 16 shots, I think, on easy. That's liquid. A little bit more, of course, on the higher difficulties. Easy peasy. I will show you just one last time this fight. And then it's game over. Again, remember, basically you can shoot him in these phases when he looks at you with the farmers. 3 shots here, he will move over to you. Try to meet him basically halfway. If he hits you, it is what it is. In this instance, we needed 4 shots, so we need to shoot him 3 times here in these tunnels. One more time. Now we're out. 1, 2. Get ready for diagonal. This time I got him. You can even shoot him before this transition here. A little bit better, a little bit more optimal. And there we go. Continue on, I think 3 shots. There we go. And final phase. 2 more shots. 1, 2, and that's it. And that's the game. There's not much else happening here anymore. Hold X to skip all the cutscenes. As soon as we get into the codex, of course, you know, hold down the turbo button or merge manually. I don't know. I don't judge. Turbo is allowed. I definitely make use of it. And then we just gonna wait here. As soon as the codec ends, you need to hold X again because there's more cutscenes coming in. And then after that, there's the credits. As it stands right now, credits cannot be skipped. On console, they cannot be skipped anyway. On PC, they can be skipped because you just press escape. And on emulator, you could, in theory, fast forward here. Now, we haven't talked about that in the community, and currently it is not allowed by the rules. But, you know, I'm just throwing that out here. If you let the credits play, fair word of warning, the song The Best Is Yet To Come is DMCA protected on YouTube. It will not be allowed you to play the video anywhere. So if you have The Best Is Yet To Come in there, that video will be claimed and blocked. Which is why I'm going to play music now. Well, dear folks, that has been it. We're probably... yeah, I think we're sub 4 hours. That has been the beginner's guide for Metal Gear Solid. Thank you. This has been the beginner's guide for Metal Gear Solid Glitchless, performed on emulator. Emulator is called Duckstation. We played Metal Gear Solid Integral, the Japanese re-release. But yeah, all the information that you may want to have for advanced strats, for other categories, you can find, of course, on MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. And of course, if you don't watch this right now on Twitch, you can follow me there. Username is always HAU5test. And yeah, hope you liked it. Hope I'll see you soon on the boards. Glitchless currently is not on the main board. It's part of the category extension. I will link everything you need to know in the description down below, of course. And yeah, I hope more people give this game a chance. It can be intimidating if you see modern speedruns of it. If you see any percent, you might be like, this is way too complex. But I tell you, all these runs are fairly easy to learn. And if you start with Glitchless first, get used to all the boss fights, it's only like one more step to the other categories. Okay? And who knows, maybe if more people join Glitchless will be part of the main board. So the more people we have, you know, the more we get on here. Thanks for the follows, everyone. Thanks so much for subscriptions. We had the Irish Wolf, Magic Tractor, and so many more. Sakarivo, Danask, Nico's Key. I've no idea. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. It's a tongue twister. Thanks everyone for the follows. Hope you're doing great. I did not expect it to go 4 hours, but here we are. Yeah. On Duckstation, quick trick, you can press F to fast forward. This is also another reason why we need to show the FPS here. So this is not an official speedrun, you know, I use save states anyway, so for the sake of this video, I'm just going to fast forward and we get it over with. Make sure, if the song ends, you need to hold down X to skip the cutscene / conversation that Naomi has with you. So after the music ends, there's more. You need to hold down X one more time. Yeah, I hope fast forward will be allowed soon. This is 5 times faster than the regular version. We need to wait like 7.5 minutes of the credits here, so at least on Emulator, it would be nice if you can skip this. Alright. As I said, hold on X, skip the Naomi cutscene, then we go into Ocelot's speech, and then it's time. I'm gonna fast forward again. Look. I am waiting here. It's even faster than the other one. Jesus. So yeah, this has been MGS Glitchless, brought on Duckstation. My name is Ostis. I hope you liked it. Wow, 1 hour 32. Probably a million save states used to explain everything. Again, once again, I hope I see you on the board soon. And it's time to celebrate. Alright everyone, that was also the final stream of 2021 from my side. I'll be back in 2022 with more MGSR 1 and especially 2. I'm at ESA, if you haven't seen. I'm also at Gary 8 from Speed Doxathon and many more events to come in the next few weeks. So check out my Twitter, check out my Discord and my Twitch, of course, for new coming stuff. And I hope you all get into the new year safe, sound, and of course healthy. See you soon, folks, and good night. I'm off. Bye-bye!